Good evening, scholars, and welcome back to the Restricted Collection, a podcast about tabletop games. Tonight we are continuing our play of the blind play of Circus Ex Mortis. I've got the third scenario, Harm's Way, set up. Let me read the flavor text, and I'll get you caught up. I'm a little confused, but we'll figure this out. When you slip back out of the Ringmaster's trailer, ghastly growls and other less identifiable sounds rumble through the camp. You nearly flinch as a shadow sweeps across the moon, which leads your view to a worse spectacle. 4 massive figures tower above the camp, large enough to be the oak trees, and indeed resembling them in silhouette, but far more horrible. Ah, it's a giant enemy that resembles an oak tree? I'm pretty sure that's a Dark Young. Like the smaller abominations you encountered, but far more horrible. These things are like a horrid jumble of tentacles, mouths, hooves, and horns. They writhe and roar dully with sluggish movements. Perhaps these monsters are rousing from sleep, which lends a little more urgency to the mission. Thea holds a hand over her mouth in shock, but soon lowers it with shudder. Whether or not she's seen them in her visions before, this appears to be the first time in person. It goes without saying that you must plan how to proceed in finding and rescuing the captives. Either the faster we get them out of here, the better. Add a cultist token to the chaos bag for the remainder of the campaign, or caution first, saving them won't help otherwise. Add a tablet token to the chaos bag, which is what I chose to do. I haven't looked at what the symbols do yet, because where's the fun in that? So, let me explain how this is set up. I'm still kind of parsing it out in my head. So in the center of the map is the Ringmaster's trailer. That's where we begin. The map is a 3x3 grid. Let's start there. The map is a 3x3 grid. I start in the center at the Ringmaster's trailer. I'm now noticing something. Important locations seem to be given the moon symbol for their location symbol. The Ringmaster's trailer has the moon symbol. Ironically, it's the safest place in the circus encampment right now. Yeah, sure. Front side, 3 shroud, 1 per investigator clues. Test will or intellect 3 to search through Blake's occult library. If you succeed, draw 2 cards. If you fail, take a horror, limit once per round. You can't understand most of the Eldritch books, but there may be something useful here regardless. All right. This is another 3x3 grid. I'm in the center of it. To the north and south of me directly, so the middle top and middle bottom, are crowded row locations. The resting performers cluster together here, making movement a tricky prospect. To the immediate left and right, so the middle left and middle right locations in this 3x3 grid are secluded tents. These tents may be more isolated and quiet, but there may also be more danger lurking within. Okay. Those are the 5 locations in play. But Chad, I hear you object. You said that the grid is 3x3. What's in the corners? Enemies. There are towering Dark Youngs in the corners. Put the copies into play at each corner of the map, not at any location. Okay. So all of them are different but similar. So let's figure that out. All of them are Monster Dark One elites. All of them are massive. I haven't read everything yet, but we're getting to everything. And they all have no health value, just a dash. 3 fight, 3 evade. They all have massive, and they all have different reaction abilities that trigger when it would attack you. And they do different amounts of health and damage and horror. Okay. That's as far as I'm going to get into them for the present moment. Okay. Because I created a separate bag, a little side bag, which currently has a skull, a cultist, a tablet, and an elder thing. This is the Fury bag. These are Fury tokens. They are not Chaos tokens. Great. Got a bag full of Fury. Put the Dark One Stir card into play. It's a story card, sure. And then at each crowded row, the 2 crowded roads and the 2 secluded tents, there are kidnapped citizens. There are 6 different kidnapped citizens that are in the set. I removed 2 at random and put 4 into play. The back sides are all different. So kidnapped citizen on the front is a null cost or dashed cost asset. Fast investigators at this location spend 1 per investigator clues as a group to flip kidnapped citizen. More unfortunate circus goers are being held captive in this part of the camp. Can you find your way safely to them? Victory 1. And then the backside has story text, and I don't know anything else about it. In sleeving it, I registered that it was double-sided, so it went into a fully clear sleeve, and that's as far as I really look at cards when I sleeve them. Are both sides used, and is the art pretty? Is pretty much as far as I go while sleeving. All right. Because we bypassed the illusions, the Ringmaster will notice my earlier meddling and be back sooner, so we start with 2 Doom on the agenda, but this Doom ignores the forced effect on the agenda, which I haven't even read yet. And then, because the Ringmaster has his eye on you, so the first thing that was checked, the bypass the illusions from Scenario 2, the Ringmaster has his eye on you, that's from Scenario 1, so we use Act 1 Escape Act version 1, not version 2. And then the only other thing as part of setup is that Thea and the Decultus book begin in my hand as additional cards. So I have not drawn my opening hand. We're just getting caught up to speed. Okay. So let's bring this whole stack over closer to me. So Harm's Way on easy/standard. Skulls are -X. X is equal to half the number of bystander cards in the victory display rounded up. Kidnapped citizens are bystanders. I'm just going to quickly look at hey, look, Terrified Captives also has the bystander trait. Those are also in the scenario. I did have a weird moment of there are only 2. It's take the 6 kidnapped citizens, and I'm like, there's only 2 in that set. But no, those are Terrified Captives or whatever. So skulls can go to -6 as far as I can, or sorry, -3 as far as I can tell. We have no cultists in the bag. I have been making these decisions thematically, not mechanically, but I just keep getting tablets. That's fine. Tablets, -3. If you moved this round, choose and discard a card from your hand, or lose a resource. Choose one. And then Elder Things are -2. If you fail, reveal a Fury token. Okay. Agenda 1A, the circus sleeps. Although the monsters stir, the majority of the camp still rests from their night of horrors. You hope you can make quick progress before anyone notices your interference, or worse yet, the monstrous creatures grow more active. Force after Doom is placed on the agenda. If there is an even number of Doom on the agenda, reveal a Fury token. Great. And again, I start with 2 of 6 already. Act 1A, Escape Act. The people abducted from the circus are held prisoner throughout the camp. It would be up to you to find and rescue them, as the decision of when to escape, better to save some rather than none if things should grow hopeless. Objective, the investigators may advance at any time, parentheses, be ready to make your escape. Okay. Then the story card that starts in play is the Dark Young Stir. Forced, when a card instructs you to reveal a Fury token, the active investigator reveals a random token from the Fury bag. Then, depending on the token drawn, each towering Dark Young makes an immediate attack against each investigator at the location. Skull, directly above them. Cultist, directly below them. Tablet, directly to the left of them. Elder Thing, directly to the right of them. Moon, immediately reveal 2 additional Fury tokens. There are no Moon tokens in the Fury bag, but I'm assuming we can get some. After resolving this effect, return each Fury token to the Fury bag. Great! Love it so much. The only other thing to note is this is the first time that my tarot card gives me a positive thing. So strength. When the game begins, each investigator may play an asset from their hand at -2 cost. My deck is mostly assets. So, and I start with two 2-cost assets already. So I'm not super worried about that. The book's nice. It gives me just straight up +1 intellect, which I don't have anything that just straight up gives me +1 intellect. It's always contingent on something. Oh boy. So yeah, that's oops, just drop a whole bunch of cards, why don't I? That's where all of this is. The only safe place is the Ringmaster's trailer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I will read the Dark Young when they become more relevant. I've got Disappearing Coins. That's not a bad place to start. Medical Students. Not a bad place to start. Scroll of Secrets. Calling in Favors. Burning Midnight Oil. Love a lot of this. So let's get the book out for fast. Decultus Bestiae. +1 intellect. Puts me at 5. And then as an action, I can seal, if there are no tokens sealed here, I can seal a moon here. And then as a fast, I can just release it. So if I need moons, I can get moons. It's not a problem. Okay. 5 resources. Spend a resource, get Disappearing Coins out. Spend a resource, and well, both of these are spend a resource in action to get Scroll of Secrets out. Just need to get set up. I'm going to fast use Scroll of Secrets, look at the bottom card of my deck, which is another Scroll of Secrets. And I don't have any damage and horror on me. I will play Burning the Midnight Oil for my last action. Puts me back to 5 resources. And I'm investigating at 2 up, which I don't hate. -3, though. Okay, it's fine. Resource and a card. I got Spotlight. Oh, yeah, I upgraded. I got a level 3 Spotlight, so it's cheaper to play and helps me with my agility now. And I upgraded my other Magnifying Glass because that was just fun. I was looking at a couple of things. There wasn't a lot that was grabbing me right now, but I probably do need to up my damage output. Probably, if I'm being honest. 3 of 6 Doom. It's not an even value. So, the Milk of Shub. Power. Attached to the nearest non-elite enemy. There are no non-elite enemies at this moment. So it gains Surge. Ominous Moonlight. Search the bag for a moon token and seal it on an investigator card. Done. And then that surges into a Moon Calf. 3 health, 2 fight, 2 evade, creature, monster, abomination, hunter. Preys on investigators with 1 or more moon tokens sealed on their investigator card. Gets +1 fight and +1 evade for each moon token sealed on investigator cards at its location. If only this horrid creature were a werewolf instead of a terrifying calf. And you're with me, and you have 3 evade. Fast, what's the bottom card of my deck? It's a Cult Vest Pocket. I don't feel like it's worth blamming you with that at the moment, but good to know it's there. I do have the ability to just fast down something into my hands. That's good to know. I'm going to... Actually, maybe it is worth killing you. Maybe. I got 6 resources. You're annoying more than anything, but you are annoying. Sorry, I'm just thinking. I can put it down for fast. I can put the Cold Vest Pocket down for fast, and then get 3 shots with it. You don't have Retaliate, and I'd be 1 up naturally. I don't love that, but I'm only one up naturally evading you right now, too. So that's not my favorite. I could put another scroll of secrets down at fast, but I kind of don't want to. If I evade you, I could just spend money evading you. I could get the clue and I would move, but that doesn't get me anywhere. But it just feels like a waste to use the Colt Vest pocket right now. So I'm going to spend 2 resources. So to Streetwise to be 6 to 3, which feels pretty good. 0. Great, you're evaded. And then we're going to investigate. I'm 2 up. Tablet -3. If I have moved this round, I have not. I will investigate again. -2. Great. Got a clue. Now let's go to the secluded tent. So there were 4 secluded tents and 4 crowded rows. I removed 2 at random, put the other 2 into play. So we're going to go to the eastern secluded tent. 3 shroud, 2 per investigator clues. Action, place 1 of your clues on secluded tent. Choose an investigator at this location. They cannot be attacked by towering, dark young enemies until the start of the next investigation phase. Neat. Great. And that's just what it is. I'll have to deal with you, the calf, in a minute, but that's just what it is for now. So I evaded, I attempted to investigate, I actually investigated, or I succeeded in my investigation, and I moved. Resource and a card. Hey, Alma, you're a sight for sore eyes. You're a way to help me do chip damage. Mooncalf readies. We go to 4 doom, so we draw a token from the Fury Bag, which is a skull. So they attack locations directly above them. So the southeast Towering Dark Young. When Towering Dark Young would attack you, make an attack against Towering Dark Young as if it were at your location. If you succeed, instead of resolving the effects of the successful attack, cancel Towering Dark Young's attack. So I could just take a swipe at you, which I don't hate. I'm even. I'm going to fast look at the bottom card of my deck. It's a Juggler's Batons. Great. I'm even. It's only a damage and a horror, so I actually am okay failing this. Automatic failure. Oh, I'm glad I didn't commit anything to it. That's a damage and a horror. Ow. Good thing I've got a med student. Close Watch. Put Close Watch into play next to the agenda. When you would take an action to move from a location, you must either spend 1 additional action, or after completing this action, discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until an enemy is discarded, and spawn that enemy at your location. Force at the end of the round, discard Close Watch. Okay. Okay. We're going to get Alma down. And that is going to trigger. I'm going to spend actual money on it, and that's going to trigger the tension on disappearing coins and put a thing on disappearing coins. Great. And then we're going to spend 1 off of disappearing coins to get a new scroll of secrets, because porque no, which we are going to fast exhaust to draw the bottom, or look at the bottom card of my deck, which is Professor William Webb. Welcome to the party. Draw. I still have 2 regular actions and a Hermes action, but I'm probably not moving this round. Probably not. Okay. I only have 1 real resource and 1 disappearing coin resource. So let's investigate at 2 up. -3, that's a fail. Automatic failure is also a fail. Okay. That's how we're going to be, game. That's how we're just going to be. The moon calf. Oh, I forgot to take a horror to get rid of this moon token. Sorry. I guess I'll just get rid of it now at the end of this round. It didn't hurt me. Close watch. I need to be better about remembering that remembering about moon tokens. Okay. So let's do it that way. Okay. So I get attacked for damage and horror. Ow. Excuse me, that puts me at 2 of 6 damage and 3 of 8 horror. I put the moon token back already, even though that's a little out of turn. Resource and a card. Ah, Defiant. I cannot take draw or resource actions after my first action. Okay. Let's go to 5 Doom, and I draw Keep Quiet. But keep quiet into play in your threat area. After you deal 1 or more damage to an enemy or discover 1 or more clues, place 1 Doom on the nearest enemy, non-elite enemy. And after an enemy at your location is evaded, discard Keep Quiet. Oh, okay. That's fine, I guess. I don't care, but thank you. I'm going to spend $1 and 1 off of Disappearing Coins, which will refresh itself, to play Colt Vest Pocket. We're going to actually also look at the bottom card of my deck with Scroll of Secrets, because I love doing that, and I found Alma. And then we're going to Kablam at 2 up. +1. I will then second action discard the Cult Vest Pocket I'm going to have to get rid of anyway to get the tension effect on Alma, which now means when I discard stuff for her ability, it goes back to hand. It's dead. After I dealt damage the first time, though, it would have put a Doom on it, but I killed it, and it doesn't matter because it's the Witching Hour. Anywho. So I have 1 regular action and a Hermes action. Let's take a... I don't want to flip now. I feel like I need more clues. So let's try to get a clue off of this location. I'm 2 up. I don't have a lot of money right now. 2 up. That's a moon. Into a 0. Well, at least I got it. So, got a clue. So, hit, clue. I don't want to move right now. And then hopefully I'm freed up so next turn I can do some things. Resource and a card. Drew an art student. Not sad about that. We're going to put the moon back in the bag and deal a damage to Alma, I guess. Not my favorite choice, but it's what it is. And we hit 6 Doom, which causes us to reveal a token from the thing. Elder Thing, directly to the right of them, which is none of them hit me. That's great. But then we advance. The colossal monster shifts again, snapping at anything that strays close enough, including each other. The more active they become, the greater the risks will follow. Add a moon to the bag. Oh, sorry, add a moon token to the Fury bag. Ah, love this. Agenda 2A, Treading on Eggshells. It's a slight consolation that as the monsters thrash and growl their commotion covers for your own subterfuge, it's still not something you can rely upon. Forced after Doom is placed on the agenda if it's an even number of Doom. We're just draw and resolve a Fury token. Sure. My encounter card is Lunar Influence. Test Will 3. This gets +1 difficulty for each moon on me. There are none. What do I have for will icons that I don't care about? Not much, honestly. Alma gets... so committing Thea gets me even. And I kind of want to be even, because I don't mind failing, but I don't want to fail by 2 or more. We're going to commit Juggler's Baton and be 1 up. Actually, what's the bottom of my deck? At the bottom of my deck is another Colt Vest Pocket. Okay, still doesn't help me with this, but it's what it is. 1 up. -1. I passed. Great. I just didn't want to lose an action. So I will spend one of my 2 clues to flip the kidnapped citizen. Already bound, this captive is still being kept in a mesmeric trance to ensure that they can't escape. You can hardly drag them around without breaking the spell, but can you do that without risking your own mind? As an action, investigators at this location can spend 1 per investigator clues as a group. Flip this card and move it to the victory display. Investigators at this location may take any amount of horror as a group to reduce the amount of clues required by 1. Sure, first real action, I will spend my last clue and put it in the victory display. Great. So I have 2 regular actions and a Hermes action. Let's move to the crowded row in the south. So actually, I can just move directly there. So Hermes action down there. Crowded row, 1 shroud, 2 per investigator clues. Forced after you succeed in investigating this location by 3 or more. Place the doom on the nearest non-elite enemy. There are no non-elite enemies. So investigate at 4 up. That's a moon. -3. I succeeded. I get a clue. Let's go for another clue. 4 up. I would put a doom on a non-elite enemy, but there are none. Automatic failure. Okay. That auto-fail does not like me right now. So... fast, action, move, action, action. It's just so slow, but it's what it is. Resource and a card, and I'm going to take a horror, putting me at 4 of 8 to get rid of this moon. This feels so bad. Just the constant pinging. Great. I drew an art student, and I have 3 resources. Calling in favors, art student, medical student, Colt Vest Pocket, William Webb Spotlight, Alma. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 of 6 doom. We do not draw fury. Terrorize citizen attached to any location without investigator unrevealed if possible. Test fight, strength or agility 4. This test gets -1 difficulty if I control a tool asset. I currently don't. The agenda gets -1 doom threshold while you're in play. You're going to go with the secluded tent that I'll get to in a minute. Just chill. Great. I have a clue. I'll spend $1 and 1 off of disappearing coins, which will put 1 back on disappearing coins to play this art student. No, it's a 1 shroud location. Why am I cheating the clue on a 1 shroud location? That's just silly. Maybe it's because I keep drawing auto fails. I'm 4 up. +1. Great, got it. So I've got 2 clues. I will fast flip this card over. Cautious jailers. While most of the camp sleeps, a small group stands watch over this captive. Taking on this many at once would be sure to rouse the whole camp, but maybe there's a way to get a way to distract them, perhaps in a big way. Reaction: after a towering Dark Young attacks an investigator at this location, even if that attack was canceled, place a resource on this card. Fast, as an action, spend a clue, place a resource on this card. Forced, if there are 1 per investigator or more resources on this, I'm just going to fast, spend my last clue, and put you in the victory display. Great. So I have a Hermes action and 2 regular actions. Let's go to the west. Secluded tent, 4 shroud, 2 per investigator clues. Reaction: after a moon token is released at this location, This location gets -2 shroud until the end of the next round. Good to know. I'm even. I am even to. I'm even to get rid of this. I don't love that. I just don't have a lot of money right now. That's kind of my problem, is like my money is just very poor. The -1 doom threshold isn't hurting me right now. So let's now spend $1 real, one from disappearing coins, which puts one back on disappearing coins because I spent a real dollar to throw down an art student, which gets me a free clue. That was at fast speed. So I still have 2 real actions. Still have 2 real actions. What am I doing with my real actions? I kind of just want to cheat the other clue, so I will do the same thing and fast throw out another art student. It's 4 shroud. I'm 1 up on it normally, but it's fast clues, so I can't hate this. So let's fast look at the back of this kidnapped citizen by spending 1 of my 2 clues. Under lock and key, the circus has taken no chances and has imprisoned this captive in an iron cage on top of their restraints. The lock for the cage is thankfully in poor condition and can possibly be broken or jimmied open. This test, strength or agility 3, gets +1 per investigator difficulty, so 4. When you initiate this test, investigators at your location can spend 1 per investigator clues to automatically succeed. If you succeed, flip this card and move it to the victory display. If you fail, take a damage. I could just spend my last clue and automatically succeed, so let's do that. So I have 1 real action left, with which I will commit Alma from hand and be 1 up. That's terrible. I can't get a resource, though, because I can't get a resource. I can't draw a card either. So I can be 1 up if I want to be 1 up. I don't love that, especially since skulls are -2 now. I should have done that action first, but I didn't. Oh well. I will forfeit the action. Enemy phase, nothing. Both art students get discarded. Resource and a card. Segmented lens. Ooh, this is a good location for a segmented lens. We go to 2 doom, which means we draw from the Fury bag. Cultist directly below them. Oh, that's bad. Towering Dark Young. When Towering Dark Young would attack you, test agility 0 for each point you succeed by. Reduce the damage of this attack by 1. It's going to do 3 damage to me otherwise. I'm 4 up, which feels pretty good. Tablet -3 if you have moved this round. I have not. That's 2 damage. Ow. That really wasn't fun. I'm going to spend $2, putting a thing on disappearing coins, to get +3 agility, so I am 3 up on terrified captives. That's another tablet. Great. You're saved. Then I'm going to spend 2 off of disappearing coins to throw down a med student to heal me a damage and a horror, which puts me at 3 of 6 damage and 3 of 8 horror. I am at no money and no disappearing coins. So let's move to the final location. Crowded row, 2 shroud, 2 per investigator clues. Reaction after you evade an enemy at this location, take an investigate action. Limit once per round. So I got rid of the thing and moved. So I have 2 regular actions left. I'm 3 up. That's a moon into a -2. 3 up. skull, which is currently a -2. So I got both those clues. I'm out of actions. I'll worry about flipping. I might be able to get rid of it fast, but I don't know that I'm going to be able to get rid of it fast, so I'll deal with it next round. Resource and a card. Ice pick. Ooh, you would be nice. 3 doom, and I draw another keep quiet. So dealing damage really adds doom. And I forgot at the end of the round, I'll take a horror to get rid of this moon token that I don't want, and the med student was discarded at the beginning of upkeep. So many little triggers. Okay. Kidnapped citizens. I spend one of my 2 clues. Hidden in plain sight. At first, it seems like this prisoner is unguarded, but the shimmer of illusory magic sparks up as soon as you approach. You won't be able to rescue them until you can determine a way past the illusion. Test Will or Intellect 3. This gets +1 per investigator difficulty. When you initiate this test, investigators can spend 1 per investigator clues as a group to automatically succeed. Sure. It's just done. The investigators may advance at any time. I've got all of the captive citizens. And I still have my entire turn because that was at... Oh, I spent an action to do it. I spent 1 action to do it. So I have 2 regular actions and a Hermes actions and a whole bunch of things I can play at fast speed. Sure, let's advance. Under suspicion. With time pressing, you have to make a clean getaway while you are still healthy and sane enough to do so. From the looks of it, your rapid success at the circus earlier gave Blake some ideas of your capabilities. Remove each copy of Kidnapped Citizen in play from the game, including one slipped to their story side. They're all in the victory display. Reveal a Fury token. Tablet. Directly to the left of them. So, reaction when the Towering Darkling would attack you, choose and discard a non-weakness card, or one non-weakness asset from your hand or play area to cancel that attack. Here, you can have my Scroll of Secrets that I don't care about anymore. Oh, I'm sorry. Instead of resolving the effects on the Dark One stirs, I'm sorry. Reveal a Fury token. If you reveal a moon token, ignore it and reveal another token. Instead of resolving the effects on the Dark One stir story card, put Camp Outskirts Guarded Closely into play, adjacent to a camp location corresponding to the direction of the revealed token. For example, the Skull token would place the location above the top copy of Crowded Row. Got it. So Guarded Closely. So I revealed a tablet, which means it goes directly to the left, so it goes to the secluded tent. Got it. I'm tracking. Then return each Fury token to the Fury bag. Done. Overdue departure. With the arrangement of the camp, only one avenue will allow you to escape unnoticed with all rescued captives in tow. Work quickly and quietly, and freedom is yours. Reaction after you evade or defeat an enemy at Camp Outskirts. Discover a clue from Camp Outskirts. If each undefeated investigator is at Camp Outskirts and there are no clues on it, advance. Camp Outskirts is also immune from Towering Dark Young shenanigans. So that's great. The only trick is there's another... If I'm VP hunting, there's another Terrified Citizen in the encounter deck somewhere, but that's a big encounter deck. Okay. So I spent 1 real action. Camp Outskirts, by the by. Guarded Closely is connected to the adjacent camp location and vice versa. That makes sense. A few short hours ago, you had trouble finding your way in. Now you have the opposite problem. So I will Hermes over and then move again. So I have 1 real action left. 3 Shroud, 4 per investigator clues. Connected to the adjacent location and vice versa. Camp Outskirts is considered to be at the same position as the adjacent camp location while resolving Fury tokens. Yeah, fine. I figured as much, but I was hoping. So there's 4 clues here. Why are there clues here? Also, the flavor text is the circus took every precaution here. Why are there 4 clues here? This isn't a victory location. Why are there clues here? If each undefeated investigator is at... And it has no clues on it. There it is. Sorry. I'm like, why are there clues here? Objective, if each undefeated investigator is at camp outskirts and there are no clues on it, advance. Great. Fast, I'm going to put an ice pick out, which puts money on disappearing coins. So I'm at 6v3 for investigating. -1. Great. Got a clue. I'm just like, why are there 4 clues here? What function is this giving me? Discard, scroll of secrets, resource, and a card. Muscle memory. That's nice. We're at 4 doom, which means something attacks. Skull directly above them, so the one directly beneath me that is attacking me, if it would attack you, you may make an investigation attempt. If you succeed, instead of resolving the effects of the investigation, cancel its attack. So I'm going to exhaust ice pick to be 3 up. Well, it's just dealing a damage and horror to me, but yeah, 3 up. 0. I succeeded and I hit it, which means I just don't get hit. Great. And then my encounter card is Supplicant of the Goat. 2 health, 2 fight, 2 evade. Spawns at any adjacent location. When you engage it, you must choose one. Search the chaos bag for a moon token and seal it on your investigator card, or it attacks you. Sure. It's not super important to me right now, but thank you. I do not have enough money. Okay, I'm going to spend 2 actions. This weakness, I was like, oh yeah, that's okay. This weakness is actually more annoying than I thought it would be. So I'm going to spend 2 actions to get rid of it. I'm going to gain a resource and just call it good for now. Well, yeah, that's fine for now, because then next turn I can play my Spotlight and... Shenanigans. Resource and a card. Ooh, Burning Midnight Oil. Love to see you too. 5 doom of 6. And we draw Terrified Captives. You can go to the secluded tents, because you're right next to me then. Well, I wasn't planning on going for you, but now I'm going to go for you. So... let's do this. How am I doing this? Ice pick is readied. Hermes over to the secluded tent. Make a friend with the lurker. I must either put a moon token on me or it attacks me. I'm going to just have it attack me. Nope. Take the moon out. It's going to be a horror when I get rid of the moon anyway, but at least this way it's out of the bag. So I might not find it so easily. So that feels nice. Then we're going to spend 1 from myself and 1 from disappearing coins, which will put 1 back on disappearing coins because I spent 1 from myself to put down my Colt vest pocket and go pew pew pew. I'll use ice pick on this. Oh, and after I put something into play, I'm going to play muscle memory and then play Spotlight into my accessory slot, spending 2 resources from 1 resource from myself and 1 from disappearing coin, which will put 1 back on disappearing coin. But it's a way... oh, no, I don't want Spotlight out in this way. I don't want Spotlight out in this way. So I'm not going to do that. Because I don't want Spotlight out in this way. I want it at my other location. Pew pew pew. -1. You're dead. And then I will spend 2 real dollars, which will put 1 onto disappearing coins. The drip economy of disappearing coins is nice. to get +3, so I'm 3 up. 3 up on this agility check. I'll commit Alma from hand to be 4 up. That's an Elder Sign. I may swap an asset I control with an asset in my hand. Paying the difference in their cost. Paying the difference between their cost. I'm assuming I don't have to pay if the thing I'm... Well, yeah. I'm going to play a Segmented Lens, 1 off of my thing, which will let me look at the top 4 cards of my deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, and put them back in any order of my choice. I'm going to put that Magnifying Glass on top, Medical Student after that, Laboratory Assistant next, Calling in Favors last. Done. Whew. And I got you, Terrified Captives, into the victory display. Skulls are -3. So I moved. I fast put down my gun. I kablammed. I got rid of the thing. I'm going to move back. And then my Cult Vest Pocket will be discarded at the beginning of the upkeep phase. Resource on a card. Hey, look, it's a Magnifying Glass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards in hand. Great. 6 of 6 Doom. First things first, Fury. Skull, so immediately above them. So I must successfully make an investigate. I'm 2 up. -2. Great. Don't get hit. I love not getting hit. Another bang howl, warped like a wolf's, rattles across the camp, and the writhing forms of the monsters grow more restless. Add a moon token to the Fury bag. Agenda 3A, sleep when you're dead. You have to get out quickly or you'll be at the top of the dinner menu when the monstrosities fully awaken. Forced after Doom is placed on the agenda if there's an even number reveal of Fury, and it's for Doom to advance. Great. I'm going to get out of here as soon as I can. Ominous Moonlight. Get a moon out. I forgot to put the moon back, and I just took a horror, and I'll just keep the moon on me. Keep it simple. Wild Hysteria. Attach Wild Hysteria to your location as additional cost to enter, leave, or investigate. Spend an action. Parlay test any skill 3. This gets +1 difficulty for each moon token sealed on an investigator card at your location. That is not what I wanted right now. If you succeed, discard it. Okay. So I'm going to test. This gets +1 difficulty for each token. Moon token sealed on an investigator. So it's a 4 difficulty test. If I do intellect, I can commit 3 cards from hand to be at 8v4. -2. Great. You're gone. Then I'm going to fast put in my Magnifying Glass at 0 cost. Then we're going to play Muscle Memory to get Spotlight into play, spending my last dollar and my last disappearing coin, but I do get a disappearing coin back to get Spotlight into play. After Spotlight enters play, reduce my Shroud's location value by 2 until the end of the turn, which is exactly what I want, so that for my last 2 actions, I am at 6v2. Elder Sign. I'm good, but thanks. Skull, -3. Don't care, still got both these clues. Okay, I just need to get 1 clue, and then I win. If each undefeated investigator is at the camp outskirts, great. Resource and a card. I'm going to ditch the Segmented Lens. That's not doing me anything. And I got another ice pick. Or sorry, I got a Med Student. Right, I knew that was coming, of course. 1 of 4 Doom, and we draw a New Moon Magician. Aloof, spawns at a location without investigators. At the end of the round... Oh, I forgot to put a moon back. I'll put a moon back. I need to be better about that. I'm at 6 of 8 Horror. That's bad. At the end of the enemy phase, search the Chaos Bag for a moon token and seal it on the nearest investigator card to the New Moon Magician. If there are no moon tokens in the bag, New Moon Magician loses aloof and gains Hunter and +2 fight. You are nowhere near me, so I don't care. Fast spend 1 to get my ice pick down. Investigate at 7v3. -1. Got the clue. Win. Just win. With all safeguards removed, you hurriedly usher the freed citizens ahead of you, instructing them to make straight north towards the dim lights of Arkham. R2. Open the book. Harm's Way. R2. You escape from the circus camp to a slow and quiet affair. You do not breathe easily until the woods begin to thin and the outermost buildings of Arkham are visible in the pre-dawn light. The grateful citizens shed tears of relief, thanking you up and down for your heroic efforts in saving them. Your appreciation is muddled by the civilians all agreeing that beyond the circus performers and their animals, it was only the night playing tricks on them. Many of them have repressed the horrors and are eager to leave them behind without another thought. While you suppose the safety of the citizens was priority, it will be on your shoulders once again to discover just what deeper mysteries the circus is hiding. There is more at work than wanton murder, that much is certain. In your campaign log, record that X groups of citizens were saved, where X is the number of kidnapped citizens in the victory display. 4. Proceed to resolution 3. After sending off the rescued victims and urging them to inform the police of last night's events, you are left with only Thea. There is still much to discuss of her visions and the stolen tome, and you invite her to enlighten you after you've both had some sorely needed rest. You sleep deeply through the morning, assured at least a little that the circus won't attack you in broad daylight in the heart of Arkham with their horrors in tow. Restful as it is, your dreams flash with the vivid imagery of the previous night, the circus, the grinning ringmaster, the moon, those creatures, the forest, voices, chanting, terror. You awaken with a sudden surge of adrenaline and find nothing but the stillness of your own bedroom. Thea is still fitfully asleep as you step out to visit the police. In the hours since your return, the public outcry forced a full investigation of the circus. Frustratingly and predictably, perhaps, the police found nothing but trampled mud at the circus grounds, and even a few of the willing officers they sent into the woods reported only abandoned campsites. Naturally, they promised to keep on the case, but without anything immediate to chase, you expect that the New Moon Circus will be filed away in their cold case cabinets. Once again, the burden falls to you, but where to start? The only trace of the circus left in town are the posters that drew the public in to begin with. You find the nearest one that hasn't been torn down by traumatized civilians and inspect it. While you expected another dead end, you make a startling discovery at the bottom of the poster. With special matinees at Chicago, August 29th, St. Louis, September 2nd, Denver, September 5th, Los Angeles, September 9th. Don't miss your chance. You couldn't have found a better roadmap if you planned it. There's no way to confirm if the schedule still holds true after the events last night, but from what little you know of Sylvester Blake, he's not the type to do anything halfway, nor keep an audience waiting. Plans form and crumble in your head as you return to your home, but nothing has cemented by the time you arrive. You enter to find Thea at your kitchen table, studying Blake's tome carefully. She nearly jumps with surprise, but gives a relieved smile at the sight of you. Mercy, I keep expecting something horrible after all these months. Thea gestures to a telegram on the table that arrived while you were out from Minnie Klein, your newspaper contact. You've barely picked up the message when a knock sounds firmly at the door, startling both you and Thea. You open it cautiously, but find a broad man in dark blue work clothes, with his cap in hand, with a young lady in similar clothes behind him. I hope this is a good time, he says with a clear lack of practice with polite conversation. You don't know me, but my boy told me you saved his life after he snuck off to the circus last night. I'm Ralph Dijkstra. Yeah, D-Y-K-S, yeah, Dijkstra, engineer with the Old Colony Railroad. This is my daughter, Carrie. The young woman crosses her arms with a wry expression. I'm your brakewoman, Dad. The engineer returns her look, but continues. I'm a man who pays his debts, and if you need anything, I'll arrange it. Even after insisting On the danger at your heels, Ralph and Carrie remain firm in helping you. Perhaps Thea is onto something with her talk of fate and prophecy. You take the folded circus poster from your pocket and glance between it and Minnie's telegram, deciding which course of action to take. Each investigator earns Victory X value of each card in the victory display, which is 6, because the locations aren't worth anything. The investigators may choose to play the Curse of the Rougarou side story immediately after the scenario. If they do, it costs each investigator 1 fewer experience. Some gameplay may be altered. Yeah, there are some cards that were included that change the Rougarou. Proceed to scenario 4, all points west. If the investigators played the Curse of the Rougarou immediately before the scenario, read back on track. Otherwise, read right on schedule. Okay. So I'll figure out if I'm playing Rougarou or not, and if I am, I'll be back. And if I'm not, I'll be back with all points west. We'll go from there. Okay, so full disclosure, I don't like to read ahead. I don't like to do anything like that, but it's one of the things where it's like, yeah, I would like to play Rougarou if there's like special rules for Rougarou and whatnot, but I wanted to make sure it wasn't I'm playing Rougarou and I'm doing that instead of one of the scenarios in the campaign. As far as I can tell, I've just poked at like the immediate like next page of just like, oh, what are the consequences of visiting the Rougarou? As far as I can tell, I'm not excluding myself from any of the campaign content, and it incorporates the Rougarou nicely. It's a -1 cost. So normally it would cost 1 XP to play the Rougarou. Well, it's -1 cost now to play this, so it's just free to play. It has some special integration. It doesn't seem to be... It seems to be entirely addition. It's not replacing or subtracting from any of the content, of the campaign. So I'm inclined to do it. So, terror grips New Orleans. Minnie Klein, your contact at the Arkham Advertiser, had slipped you a draft of the article over a cup of coffee at Velma's diner. It would have gone to print had Doyle Jeffries, the lead editor, not scoffed at the concept. I believe his exact words were, "I ain't printing the ravings of some voodoo lunatic and passing it off as news," she explained. From the sly grin spreading across her face, you could tell she smelled a story. The headline was sensationalist. 3 killings in 9 days was enough to spook a town, sure, but you doubt all of New Orleans is gripped by terror or even knows about the killings. Still, something piqued your interest. Lady Esprit, the voodoo priestess from the article, claimed that a malign curse had taken root in the bayou. "There's something to this, isn't there? I know that look," Minnie said. "You weren't sure if Lady Esprit was right, but this Rougarou wouldn't stop killing at 3, that's for sure. But curses, wolf people, how could such things be real?" That's kind of funny now, having, playing this as part of this campaign. Only one way to find out, so you put your code and head for the North Side Station. So I've got it set up, ready to go. I'm beginning play at Brackish Waters. We'll get to that, but new rules. So, Curse of the Rougarou, Circus Ex Mortis changes. During the scenario, moon tokens gain beneficial effects in addition to their normal effects. The following 3 abilities are active during the scenario. Fast. During a test at your location, you can release a moon token from a card you control to reduce the difficulty of that test by 2, group limit once per test. Reaction. When an investigator at your location would take damage or horror from a monster enemy's attack, release a moon token from your card to cancel up to 2 damage and or horror. 2 damage, 2 horror, or any combination thereof. My apologies. Group limit once per attack. Reaction. When an investigator at your location would deal 1 or more damage to a non-elite enemy, release a moon token from a card you control to deal 1 additional enemy damage to that enemy. Group limit once per instance. Great. Interesting. Love it. So I'll just leave that. Bye. Curse of the Rougarou. I've played this recently on the podcast, so I might be a little more glib or sparse in some of the things, but I'll still read out. And it's also, super old content at this point, but I'll still be reading out everything that's relevant. So, skulls are -2, -4 instead if you're at a bayou location. There are no cultists in the bag. Tablets. Reveal another token. If you fail until the end of the round, you cannot move. Okay, that might be annoying. And then Elder Things -4. If the Rougarou is at your location, it attacks you. So we need to find Lady Esprit. So only investigators at a bayou location can spend the 1 per investigator requisite clues to advance. I begin at Brackish Waters Bayou. 1 shroud, 0 clues. While you are here, you cannot play assets. Well, that's terrible. Action, discard 2 assets from your hand or from play. Test agility 3 to wade through the dark waters and retrieve an abandoned fishing net. If you succeed, take control of the set-aside fishing net. I forgot that you have to pay it before you even know if it works. Like a jerk. Okay. Opening hand, medical student, Thea Weaver, spotlight, burning the midnight oil, and an ice pick. That's not terrible, but it's not exactly what I want. So let's burn everything but the ice pick. Professor William Webb, Alma, always lovely to see you. Muscle memory, scroll of secrets. Okay. That's not terrible. I upgraded both of my coins, so now they are 0 cost and come with 3 charges on them, but are otherwise basically the same. And I substituted both of my lenses. They're nice, but I'd rather have the hiking boots, which give me agility and help me just sprint, because that's primarily how this investigator is getting stuff done, is just throw everything at the table and run. So let's do that. Great. What are we doing with my life? I need to get clues, and I can't play assets here because this game hates me. I'm going to move to one of the random Riverside locations. 4 shroud, 0 clues. While you are here, you reduce the cost of each asset you play by 1. You don't say. Action, resign. We can't catch the beast. Yeah, I'm not doing that. But this location does not have clues. So I guess we'll just get set up. We're going to play a Scroll of Secrets. Cost me nothing, because it's wonderful like that. And then I'm going to fast play Muscle Memory to play another card, or another asset at -1 cost. So I'm going to play Alma for $2. That feels great. Then now I have a fast window that I can look at the bottom card of my deck. It's a magnifying glass. Not sad to see you. So yeah, we'll put a magnifying glass and an ice pick down at fast speed. I've only taken a move action and then a play action thus far. The only card I have left in hand is Professor William Webb, who I could throw down for 2 resources. I've only spent 2 resources. Okay. I'm actually not going to put the mag glass down. I want to keep the scroll for refilling my hand, and I don't know that I'm going to be able to get all the clues off the next location, and so I will then move to Audubon Park. 3 shroud, 1 per investigator clues. Forced when you evade an enemy here, discard a random card from your hand. Victory 1. Rather not. Let's investigate, because I've moved, played, moved, so I still have an action because of Hermes. I'm 2 up using Ice Pick. I don't want to risk Magnifying Glass right now, so I'm 2 up. That's a moon. Into a moon. That's not what I want right now, but I can at least use moons for stuff. Into an Elder Thing -4. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave the moons on me because they don't hurt me in this scenario, so I might as well just keep them on me. I also might have been, in retrospect, too keen on getting rid of the moon tokens. We'll see. Resource, sand a card. That's another ice pick. Good to have. 1 of 5 doom. And I forgot to shuffle the encounter deck. Let me just shuffle that real quick. Bog Gator, 2 health, 2 fight, 2 evade, preys on lowest agility, but that's just going to be me. And when it's at a bayou location, it gets +2 fight and +2 evade. Well, that's not great. I know exactly what I'm going to do to it, though. I'm going to fast look at the bottom card of my deck. It's my weakness, losing focus. We're going to discard that. Thanks, Scroll of Secrets. I am then going to chuck my Scroll of Secrets with 1 charge on it at this Bog Gator. And then when an investigator at my location would deal 1 or more damage to an unlead enemy, I may release a moon token back from a card I control. Great. To deal a bonus damage. And because if I defeat an enemy with the above ability, because it's dealing additional damage, so it's still the same instance, so she now gets her tension ability. Yes! So now I can discard things with her and return them to my hand. Huzzah! Let's throw down an ice pick. I still have 2 regular actions and a Hermes action, so let's throw down an ice pick. And let's throw down a magnifying glass, and I will investigate at 7-3. Tablet, reveal another token. 0. Great. Got the clue. Returning mag glass to hand as to not be an issue with my hand slots. The way mag glass works in this deck, I kind of love. It just kind of love it. So I shot my Scroll of Secrets at that gator. That's a sentence. I successfully investigated. I move. So I have a regular action left, but I will spend the requisite number of clues as a group to advance, which I will. Finding Lady Esprit's shack is no simple endeavor, but eventually you spot the decrepit shanty. Through the mist, Lady Esprit greets you as you enter, not at all surprised by your intrusion. She claims that the Rougarou was once a man, cursed by a being known as Shub. Put Lady Esprit into play at the Bayou location. So with me... that is... Okay, so having the game... Sorry. There is a version of Lady Esprit that will be unique to this campaign, that if I win her as an ally, I will get. But for the purposes of this scenario, I get the regular version of her. So I can action exhaust her and deal a horror to her to heal 2 damage or gain 2 resources. Any investigator at her location may activate this ability. And then I get the Curse of the Rougarou. Yay. Put into play in my threat area. At the end of my turn, if I've not dealt any damage this turn, take a horror. Good thing I threw my scroll at that gator. So now we'll go to Act 2A, Hunting the Rougarou. So... Nope, we're missing something. Something should have happened. Yeah, I totally skipped over Spawn the Rougarou. My goodness. Put into play each set-aside location. So we've got the New Orleans locations, and we have the Unhallowed locations. The wilderness locations were not used this time. Put the Rougarou into play at any non-Bayou location. You can go to New Orleans, because that's a great place for you to be. And then... Shuffle the encounter discard pile, so that 1 Bog Gator with the Rougarou encounter set. Great. So, Rougarou, Cursed Soul, 5 health per investigator, 3 fight, 3 evade, monster, creature, elite, aloof, retaliate. As an additional cost for investigator to engage the Rougarou, the investigators must spend 1 clue as a group. Sure. Forced after the Rougarou takes 1 per investigator damage during a single phase. Find the location that is furthest from all investigators. Move the Rougarou 1 location at a time until it enters that location. Great. Now that the Rougarou's in play, so we can kill it, or if each of the following requirements are met, proceed to R3. I'm just looking at the back of it because I've played this enough times that yeah. So we must learn about the curse. The investigators must possess 4 per investigator clues. Because I need at least 1 clue to engage him, that is actually more realistically 5 per investigator clues. We must keep it contained. The Rougarou must have a trap card attached to it. So I can test agility to wade in and try to get the trap. We must protect ourselves. The Rougarou must have at least 1 per investigator damage on it. That's going to be a little trickier, but that shouldn't be too bad. We must calm it down. The investigators must have either found a binding stone or a strange doll. So I forget where the hunter's cabin is, but like we have access to 1 trap right now. We have access to I kind of imagine that the hunters, I think the bear trap is in the woods. That would make the most sense to me. Might be in the unhollowed, might be, but I think it's in the woods. So I have to get this trap. So I threw my scroll at the thing. I got the clue. I moved. So I have 1 regular action left. I'm just gonna draw a card. Hey, it's Lone Wolf. I will play you when I can. Resource and a card. Decultus Bestiae. That's actually also not terrible. We're at 2 Doom, and I draw Swamp Leech. Spawns at any bayou location. Cannot be evaded. When it enters a non-bayou location, discard it. Great. Let us... Ooh, I can use the book to get a moon to then fuel random things. Good to know. By the way, am I spawning this? I'm going to spawn this leech at the Foul Swamp. I'll deal with it in a minute. But I'll need to get clues. I'll need to get trap. I'll need to do things. So let's be honest. I'm probably not playing Webb anytime soon. I like Webb. Webb's here for a purpose, but I've never played him. So maybe I should get rid of him if he's not doing me anything. If he's just eating up space. So we're going to ditch Webb. And we're going to ditch an ice pick. To then take this test, I will spend 2 resources with Streetwise to be 4 up. That's a moon. The moon. That's another moon. And that's an Elder Sign. I may swap an asset I control with an asset in my hand. Okay. I'm going to put Lone Wolf down at... it's swapping, not playing, so I can do it here. So I got Lone Wolf down for no action cost, which feels great. And I got the fishing net. Fast if the Rougarou is exhausted and at your location, attach fishing net to the Rougarou. Great. I will have to exhaust him. That was my first real action. Let's move to the Cursed Shores. 1 shroud, 0 clues. Action, take a damage. I get +2 to my next skill value that I make this turn. When I leave Cursed Shores, choose and discard a skill card from my hand. What are skill cards? I don't have those in my deck. And then let's go to the New Orleans location the Rougarou is not at. Broadmoor, 3 shroud, 1 per investigator clues. Resign. We can't catch the beast. I don't want to resign. And victory 1. So we're going to fast put down the magnifying glass and this ice pick at for 1 cost. So I found the thing. I moved. And then we're going to fast the magnifying glass, fast the ice pick, and spend 2 to fast the Decultus to investigate at 3 up. That's a -2. I get the clue and return the magnifying glass to hand, which is important because that's stupid and I love it. Great. Resource and a card. I got the Colt Vest Pocket. I'm at all my slots. And at the end of my turn, that's what I skip. It's at the end of the turn. I have to take a horror, which I do. 3 doom of 5, and I find Insatiable Bloodlust. Attached to the Rougarou, gets +1 fight, +1 damage, +1 horror, and cannot be evaded. After it takes damage, discard Insatiable Bloodlust. I can just deal damage to it without engaging it because of Alma. Because I can just do damage to an enemy at my location. That's great. I like that so much. We're going to move to the New Orleans location that the Rougarou is at. Garden District. 1 shroud, 0 clues. Action test agility 7 to break into the nearby greenhouse and take a look around. And if I do, I can find a strange doll. I'm going to fast put this magnifying glass down. And for my first real action, I'm going to discard it to deal a damage to the Rougarou. And it returns to hand because Alma's thing's triggered. Yeah, this is working. I'm liking where this is going. You get a damage on you. Great, thank you. And after you take 1 per investigator damage during a single phase, you'll run away, which is fine. I don't care if you run away. So I've satisfied Curse of the Rougarou. I'll exhaust you for now. So I moved. I threw my mag glass and returned my glass to hand. I only have $1. Oh, I should have $2. I forgot about Lone Wolf. Exhaust Lone Wolf to show that I got the $1 for that. Test agility 7. I'm going to gain a resource, and I'm going to gain a resource, and that's just going to be my turn. The Rougarou is going to run all the way to the Faubourg Marigny. I don't know if I actually read that out loud when I revealed it. Sorry about that. And whenever it moves, it drops clues. Forest after the Rougarou leaves the location, place a clue from the token bank on that location. I'm trying to keep Audubon Park clear because it's worth VP. But that's 3 clues just spawned, so thank you, Rougarou. Resource and a card. I'm at slots, and that's another Alma in hand. Ready everything. Great. 4 of 5 Doom, and we find Dragged Under. Test agility 3. If you fail, add it to your threat area. When you leave your current location, take 2 damage and discard Dragged Under. At the end of your turn, test agility 3. If you succeed, discard Dragged Under. Here, I'll commit Alma to be 2 up. -2 from a skull, -4 instead if you're at a Bayou location. I'm fine. Start of my turn, gain a resource from Lone Wolf. Exhaust it to represent that. Great. I'm going to spend 1, 2, 3, 4 of my 6 resources to be 10 to 7. -3. Perfect. We'll put a marker on there. I have found a strange doll. So I have a trap, but I need to attach it. I found a strange doll. It has 1 per investigator damage on it. So I just need to get a bunch of clues, which is fine. Let's investigate. I'm at 6 up. Yeah, I'm 6 up. +1, that's a clue. So I'm at 2 clues. So I got the doll, got the clue. We're going to move over to Cursed Shores and try to get another clue. -4. I was 5 up anyway, so get the clue, putting me at 3 clues. At the end of my turn, I did not deal any damage this round until I take a horror. Ow. Enemy phase, nothing. Resource and a card. Professor William Webb. Nice. So I've got 3 resources. Magnifying Glass, Cult Vest Pocket, Professor William Webb. Excuse me, we hit 5 of 5 Doom. Shuffle the encounter discard pile. All 2 cards of it into the encounter deck. If the Rougarou is in play, find a non-Bayou location with the fewest clues on it. I'm going to send you back to the Garden District. If that's cool with you, sir, to dropping a bunch of clues. If the Rougarou is not in play, after advancing to Agenda 2A, add 1 Doom to that agenda. And then it's just 6 Doom to advance now. Sorry, I do apologize a little bit for being a little more, like, speeding through it, but, like, I've recently played this. It's well known. I'll note things, the mechanical text and the new things. I do kind of want to go to the Unhallowed Land to get that VP while I'm picking up clues, because we're getting there. We're getting there. Okay, because now actually if he needs to run to a location, he'll remove one of my VP. All right, and my encounter card is Cursed Swamp. Test Will 3. For each point you fail by, take a damage. And I cannot I can't commit cards to this because I'm at a bayou location. So I'm 1 down to begin with. -4. For each point you fail by, I just took 3 damage. I'll put 2 on myself and 1 on Alma. That hurt. Okay. This is still early Arkham. It can be very punishing. Oh, I don't want to move to the swamp, to the leech now, because the leech will deal damage to me. That's not great. Because I can't evade it. I guess I could try to kill it. I just don't... Oh yeah, I can just kill it! Duh. I'm going to move over to the Foul Swamp. 2 Shroud, 0 clues. While you are at Foul Swamp, you cannot heal horror or cancel horror. As an action, take up to 3 horror, and this is how I can find to get a stone. I'm glad I didn't have to do that. I'll fast put down my magnifying glass, and then I will action chuck it at this swamp leech, which will kill it. So move, murder, move. I found the overgrown Carns, which I can spend 2 resources to heal 2 horror. Limit once per game. That's not terrible. So I will finally move to the Ritual Grounds 2 Shroud, 1 per investigator clues. After you end your turn at Ritual Grounds, after you end your turn at Ritual Grounds, draw a card and take a horror. Not what I wanted, but I guess that's fine. So I will take a horror, which drew me my Diffident weakness, and then I take a horror. Oh, I did damage this round. I did forget to give myself a resource. So many little triggers. Resource and a card for upkeep. Hiking boots. Excellent. I can't cheat that one down so easily, but it's just nice to have once it's in play. 1 of 6 Doom. Surge on the prowl. Find the non-bayou location with the fewest clues on it. Yeah, I'll have him run next to me. That's fine. Because then that makes my life arguably easier. So drop a clue, drop a clue, drop a clue. Then another on the prowl. Well, this is not what I want. Find the non-bayou location with the fewest clues on it. I mean, he's already at a non-bayou location with the fewest clues on it. Could I argue he stays there? Find a non-bayou location with the fewest clues on it and move the Ruguru one. Oh, I have to change the game state. So I will send him over to Audubon Park, which does muck up a... Well, it doesn't muck up a VP yet. It will muck up a VP if he leaves. Dragged Under. Test Agility 3. I'm 1 up. I'm going to spend $2 because I really don't want to fail this to be 4 up. -2 from a skull. Great. Gain a resource at the top of my turn because of Lone Wolf. And then we're going to fast drop a magnifying glass to be 6 up. By 6 up, I mean 4 up. I'm at 6 to 2. Great. I got a clue. I've got 4 clues. Let's move to the Overgrown Cairns. Spend an action and 2 resources, so it drops me to $2 to heal 2 horror. Great. That just buys me some time. And then we're going to investigate with ice picks, which puts me at 5, 6, 7 to 4. -2. That's a clue. I have 5 clues. So I've got the damage on him that I need. I found the strange doll. I just need to get to him. Oh, I should have played the... Dang it, I should have played my hiking boots. Oh well, I'll return magnifying glass to my hand. And then, so Got a clue. Moved. Yeah, I don't have any actions left anyway. Resource and a card, and I take a horror. I've got 3 of, I think, the 4 moons on my investigator, which is just the most fun. 2 of 6 doom, and I draw a slime-covered dole. I hate doles. You can spawn at the ritual grounds. 3 health, 2 fight, 3 evade, spawns at any non-bayou location, preys on lowest remaining health, hunter. When slime-covered dole enters your location, each investigator at that location takes a horror. I hate doles in like every version. Doles and gugs, they are the worst. 1, 2, 3 gets me to Audubon Park. But I actually think what I'm going to do is go to the Faubourg Marigny and try to get this clue. Because then if he moves, I can have him come to me. So it's a 4 difficulty. I will fast put a magnifying glass out. I'm at 5. 6 with magnifying glass. 7 with picks. We'll commit web to this. Why not? -3. That's a success. I get this clue, which puts me at 6 clues. And yeah, that's great by me. Resource and a card. Lab assistance. 3 of 6 doom. I need to take a horror because I didn't deal damage that round. Great, and I moved the dole. On the prowl, find the non-bayou location. Yes, come to me. Drop a clue behind you. Oh, that room's a VP. Dang it. And then swamp leech at any bayou location. You can go with the dole. I don't like the dole. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to get the Rougarou. Start of my turn, gain a resource with Lone Wolf. Okay. I'm going to engage the Rougarou, which is going to cost me 1 of my 6 clues. That's fine. I'm going to evade the Rougarou, spending $2 to be at 7-3. That's a moon. 0. Great. I have all the moons. So you are evaded, and because you are evaded, I'm going to attach the fishing net to you. I could re-engage him as an action right now and win using the peacemaking mode. That's not what I want to do, though. So that was 1 action to engage, 1 action to evade. I'm going to move to Audubon Park, and I'm going to attempt to investigate. It's a 3 difficulty. I am at 6 with Ice Pick. I'll throw down Mag Glass, because why not? -2. Great. I'm going to return Mag Glass to my hand now that there are no clues on this location. Mag Glass is acting like Opportunist does, where it's just like, oh yeah, just throw it in like icing on the cake, and whenever you're done, just take it back. And I'm just like, perfect. It's just icing on the cake, and just take it back. It's great. The dole's going to move to the brackish waters. I did not do damage this turn, so I take a horror, resource, and a card to a level 3 spotlight. Yeah, I'm not going to play you, probably. 4 of 6 doom, and we draw a dark young host. Spawns at any bayou location. You can go to the foul swamp. I could kill you for a VP. Okay, let me reconsider this. So okay, let me consider this. You do 2 damage and 2 horror. I don't love that. Okay, if I put the Dark Young Host at the Cursed Shores, so it's not with the Swamp Leech, I can then move, throw down the Cult Vest Pocket as a fast, kill the Dole. When 1 or more clues are placed on Dark Young Host location, place those clues on Dark Young Host. When Dark Young Host is defeated, move all clues on its host to its location. Sure. But you're a 4 fight, and I just don't have a great during a test at your location. I can reduce the difficulty of the test. I've got all these moons on me. I can reduce the difficulty of the test. Okay. Let's try this, shall we? Move to the slime-covered dole. Fast, play the Colt Vest Pocket at 2... I had to play the Colt Vest Pocket before I came here, but I'm still going to do it. I also forgot to gain a resource at the start of my turn with Lone Wolf. Great. Colt Vest Pocket. Pew pew. Let's see. I'm going to be at 4 to 2. 4 to 2. It's pretty good. I don't love it, but it's pretty good. Reveal another token. 0. Great. I will spend a moon off of me to murder you. And when it enters my location, I take a horror, but not when I enter its location. So I have moved, I have shot. So I'm going to move again to the Cursed Shores, where I will shoot, move, shot, move. I'm going to shoot. I'm going to reduce the difficulty of this test by 2. And I'm going to use Ice Pick to be 5 to 2. We'll commit Spotlight to this. I want to be 4 up. Elder Sign. I can swap an asset I control in. Sure, we're going to swap the Colt Vest Pocket out for the Scroll of Secrets. And I'll look at the bottom card of my deck, which is a Disappearing Coins. Not that I'm going to play that anytime soon, but I got it. It let me keep my Colt Vest Pocket. I'm going to return the Who's a What's It, the Moon, to deal +1 damage to this. So I've done 3 damage to this Dark Young host. And then I will, in the enemy phase, spend the last of my moon tokens so that it doesn't deal me its full damage and horror. It'll just do a damage and a horror. I'll choose to reduce 1 of each, putting me at 3 of 6 damage and 5 of 8 horror. Or I could have spent $2 to play Lab Assistant during my turn to draw 2 cards, and then the Lab Assistant takes the damage and a horror because she's going to get discarded anyway at the beginning of upkeep. That drew me an art student and another hiking boots. This deck is stupid, and I just love it. Like, just throw everything at everything and just see what happens. Hey, look, I did damage this round. And then upkeep, resource and a card, which got me another magnifying glass. I have now double magnifying glasses. Great. 5 of 6 doom, and we draw ripples on the surface. Test will 3. For each point you fail by, take a horror. Will is not my strong suit. And if I'm at a bayou location, I can't commit anything. Automatic failure, so I take 3 horror. 1, 2, 3. Ouch. That's not great. I'm at 1 away from dead. We need to end. I'm going to fast throw down a magnifying glass and chuck it at this dark young host, and it's dead. It's worth a VP. And then I'm going to move, and then I'm going to move, and then we are going to engage the Rougarou as my last action, spending a clue. And I have at least 4 clues. There is a trap card attached to it. There's at least 1 damage on it, and I have found a strange doll. So I proceed to R3. This is silly. This is just silly. R3. Somehow you have managed to quell the rage and bloodlust of the curse within the creature, and you've embraced the curse. Oh, wait, no, I didn't want to embrace the curse. No, I need to murder it. I guess I'll murder you next turn, so I'll take my clue back. Because I actually don't want to embrace the curse. Because that totally mucks up my system. I need to murder you, dude. I'm sorry. If that's the case, that I need to murder him... Fine, I'll still have chucked the thing at it. I'll just... forfeit my last action because I can't do anything with it. Shoot, I forgot which way the wind blew on this. So resource and a card. I got an art student. We hit 6 of 6, which I think makes you run. Shuffle all copies of On the Prowl. Yep, there's like 3 copies. 1, 2, 3. And then it's going to move 1 location to Audubon Park. Thank you. Which drops a clue on my location. Great. Yeah, I'm sorry, dude. You need to die. It's nothing personal. It's purely me having this curse is a bad thing. Oops-a-daisy. Great. On the Prowl. Well, that's exactly what I didn't want. So you can go all the way over to the Overgrown Cairns and poop a clue everywhere you go. Clue, clue, clue. Great. This is not what I wanted at all. Dragged under. Test agility. I'm 2 up. -2 because I'm not at a bayou location. Great. 1, 2 to the Foul Swamp. Fast put in the magnifying glass. Chuck the magnifying glass at the Swamp Leech for 3. And then 4 gets me to the Overgrown Cairns. Resource and a card. I don't take a horror because I didn't. I did a damage. 1 of 8 Doom. 2 of 8 Doom, because at the end of the investigation phase, I'm not engaged with it. So 2 of 8 Doom. And I draw an Insatiable Bloodlust. That's not exactly what I wanted, but it's fine. I'm going to spend $2 to play a Cult Vest Pocket. I'm also going to put a magnifying glass down, which I'm going to chuck at the Rougarou to get rid of the Insatiable Bloodlust. Great. Both of those. So I spent 1 real action. I'm going to engage you and fight. I'm at 4 to 3, but we're not at a bayou location. Ice Pick, 5 to 3. So 2 up. Tablet, reveal another token. Skull, -2. Great, you take 2 damage. So now at least I can murder you with my exhaust ability. So that's nice. But in the meantime, you retaliate. In the meantime, you retaliate. I'm going to just try to evade you. $2 spent, so I'm at 7 to 3. Tablet, 0. Great. Oh, no. Sorry, the fishing net makes it so he lose retaliate. So I'm just going to cancel that attack and just shoot him, because I can. I mean, it means I would have hit, but, you know, whatever. Tablet. Into a 0. It was meant to be. You're dead. Like, dead. Sorry. No offense, but I didn't want to be cursed. So, record that the Rougarou is destroyed and the curse is lifted. Remove the curse of the Rougarou. Yep, thank you. And I can add Lady Esprit to my deck. Great. Sorry, dude. Nothing personal. It's just how it is. So, let's talk about what that did for me. So, moving on to the text under Scenario 4, All Points West. If the investigators played the Curse of the Rougarou immediately before this scenario, read Back on Track. Your decision to pursue the Rougarou put you a little far afield, but you return to New Orleans Union Station after a long and harrowing night to find the Dijkstra's train waiting for you. Excuse me. If an investigator has Lady Esprit in their deck, read Good Juju. Lady Esprit accompanies you to the station and wastes little time in setting up shop in the caboose. Carrie watches her with folded arms. Are you a witch? The young lady asks. Lady Esprit laughs with surprising spirit and continues without looking. Even better than that, child. Lady Esprit gains reaction after you release a moon token, discover a clue. So she has her normal text of... where is she? She has her normal text of exhaust her as an action and deal a horror to her to heal 2 damage or gain 2 resources, or anybody can at her location can activate this ability. But now, reaction after you release a token, you can just discover a clue, limit once per round. That's pretty great. For anyone who is interested, there is an alternative version of Curse of the Rougarou, where after you release a moon token, you discard Curse of the Rougarou. That's actually really good. Both of those are really good, but I think discovering a free clue is way more up my alley. And then remember that you are setting out from New Orleans instead of setting out from Arkham. As I said, I don't believe that this has excluded campaign content. Like, it might change my path a little bit and whatnot, but it doesn't seem to have skipped any scenarios or anything like that. So this will be a bonus onto this, so I will be back for scenario 4, because I usually like doing 2 episodes or 2 scenarios in an episode for a campaign like this. But and it doesn't make sense to... This was just kind of like a bonus instead of a... because it's not a new thing onto the thing. But I digress. Be back. And we're back with scenario 4, All Points West. I already read the intro to this, which isn't very long. It's basically just checking, did you go deal with the Rougarou or not? Because we are setting out from New Orleans, we use Act 1 Through the Forests version 2. And then there are 4 locations in play. They're all revealed. From left to right, there's the locomotive engine, the boxcar, the coal hopper car, and the caboose. Please note that the boxcar is there are 5 different freight car locations. One was chosen at random. We got the boxcar. Then the coal hopper car, which is one of 5 special car locations chosen at random. Important to note that there are connections in play that are not currently in play. The locomotive engine connects to the moon, and I am being, like, as soon as I'm like, oh, the moon's important, yeah, I'm keeping an eye on it. Like, okay, that's probably bad. The boxcar connects to a hourglass that currently isn't in play. The coal hopper currently connects to an X, which is not currently in play. We also got a -3 added to the bag. I spent my XP on a copy of Charisma, because it's going to gunk up my ability to, like, throw out allies, but it also might be nice that I can, like, have a cheap ally out that I can then use calling in favors on, so that's kind of exciting for me. All right. All Points West. I got 4 XP from the Rougarou scenario. I spent 3 of it on a Charisma. Haven't done anything else with the last XP. All Points West. Skulls are -X, where X is equal to half the doom in play rounded up. We still don't have any cultists. Tablets are -1. If you fail, draw the topmost hazard treachery in the encounter discard pile. Elder Things are -2. If you fail, ready a dark young enemy in play. Agenda 1A, scheduled to keep. It'll be a marathon journey to reach California in a reasonable time frame. You'll get brief windows to recover each time you reach one of the major cities along the route, but don't spread yourself too thin. Okay, this agenda cannot advance by reaching a doom threshold. Okay. Forced, when an investigator would be defeated, if there are 1 or more undefeated investigators, advance this agenda. So I will never advance this agenda. Great. Act 1A Through the Forests version 2. You breathe in a long sigh, both in resignation and preparation, as the train departs through the swampy forests of Louisiana. You'll miss the circus appearance in Chicago, but perhaps there's something useful you can uncover in Memphis, where the circus used to tour. Thea settles into the caboose, poring over Blake's tome as the journey begins anew. Oh, maybe this way... Yeah, maybe this way I don't get to go to Chicago, but I get to do something else. Interesting. Objective at the end of the round, if investigators as a group possess the requisite number of clues, they may advance. Parentheses, enemies still in play will delay you. Okay. So, since all the locations are revealed, let's go through them. From left to right, locomotive, engine, 3 shroud, 1 per investigator clues, action, look at the top 4 cards of the encounter deck, put them back on top of the deck. Put them back on top of the deck in the same order, group limit once per round. The front of the train is the best position to see what's coming down the line. At this location is Ralph Dijkstra. Fast, we can exhaust him, assuming he's... fast. If he is ready, investigators at his location can place 1 per investigator clues on locomotive engine as a group to remove a doom from any card in play. Any investigator at locomotive engine may trigger this ability. Fast, if he is ready, I can place clues, so drop clues onto his location to remove a doom from any card in play, but he doesn't exhaust to do this. So if I have a bunch of clues, I can just drop a bunch of clues. That feels weird, but okay. Boxcar, 2 shroud, 1 per investigator clues. After you play an event that targets an investigator, draw a card, limit once per round. The calm and enclosed car makes respite a little easier. Coal Hopper Car, 3 shroud, 2 per investigator clues. While there are no clues on Coal Hopper Car, treat the agenda as if there were 1 fewer total doom on it. Some of the coal here is of noticeably higher quality. Think they'll miss a couple chunks. Victory 1. Caboose, 2 shroud, 1 per investigator clues. If there are no enemies at Caboose, heal a damage as an action. Limit once per round. The comforts of the Caboose are the closest thing you have to a home away from home. Back here is Carrie Dijkstra, whom we may fast exhaust to move her to a connecting train location. Investigators at any location may trigger this ability. Her location gets reaction after you enter this location. Test strength or agility 2. If you succeed, move to a connecting location. Limit once per round. So we can bounce her around a bit to make it so that we can jump over things. We begin play in the Caboose. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards off the top of my deck. Let me reset my dials. I'm not nearly dead yet. Great. 2 scrolls of secrets, a Professor Webb, a magnifying glass, and some disappearing coins. It's not a bad place to start. I am going to ditch Webb. I want him, but later. Otherwise, I'm fine. Got a lab assistance. That's not bad at all. Okay. So I'm going to boot her. Oh, I mean, once I get the coal hopper fixed up, I'll probably put her in the boxcar. Boxcar is a location I don't really care about. So let's go ahead and start with putting down a scroll of secrets. Look at the bottom card of my deck. It's Professor William Webb. Well, might as well draw him. And then... I'm sorry. First things first, we're playing Disappearing Coins. Level 2 Disappearing Coins, 0 cost. Uses 3 charges. Charges may be spent to pay for assets and events. After investigate your location spends 3 or more resources at once, add a charge to Disappearing Coins. Seems simple enough. And tension. So if I spend 4 resources at once, reduce the resource requirement of the above ability by 2. So that'll be a hot minute, but it'll be fine. So I'm going to spend 1 from Disappearing Coins to play this Scroll of Secrets. So that was my second real action, and that's how I got Professor Webb. Great. Fast, magnifying glass. So action, action, fast. So I'm going to investigate. With mag glass, I'm at 5 to 2. -1. That's a clue. I'm going to boot Carrie forward. Her subtext is her subtitle is Takes After Her Old Man. His subtitle is In for the Long Haul. All right. Then I'll move to her location. I will not use her ability, but I will investigate 2 up. Skull minus X. X will have half the amount of doom in play, which is nothing, so I get a clue. All right, 2 clues. Action, action. Wait a minute. I took too many actions. I should not have investigated. Action, action, investigate, move. Yeah, I should not have investigated that second time. Resource and a card. Theo Weaver, Circus Fortune Teller. 2 cost. Okay. 1 doom. Broken couplings. Peril. Put broken couplings between 2 train locations without a copy between them. Investigators cannot move between these locations. As an action, spend 2 resources to discard broken couplings. Investigators at either location may activate this ability. Connected now only by emergency cables, the 2 cards now ride a dangerous distance apart. We're going to put that between the caboose and where I am. Because the caboose only connects back, so maybe I don't have to go back to the caboose ever again. Maybe. Fast, look at the bottom card of my deck. It's a magnifying glass. Now we're cooking. Fast, put down a magnifying glass. And we will investigate at 6-3. That's a moon. I'm going to be more... -2, great. I'm going to be more like, maybe don't get the moons immediately off me if I don't need to. Wait for things to indicate to me that I'll be punished, I guess. I'll investigate again, 6-3, -2. Great, got both these clues. I'll return 1 magnifying glass to hand. This is silly. I am going to play my second scroll of secrets and exhaust it. I'll return my second magnifying glass back to hand, because then I can play that way I could play the scroll for fast. Hey, look, it's Lone Wolf. So I investigated twice. That's the only actions I've actually done. We'll play a Lone Wolf down for 1 cost. Sure, we'll pay for it from disappearing coins. Why not? We'll boot carry over to the box car as a fast. And then I guess I should gather up all the clues and then take them to the locomotive engine and pare that down. I guess. While there are no clues on Coal Hopper, treat the agenda as if there were 1 fewer clues. Sure. So I have 3 clues. I investigated twice. I played a card. I moved. Resource and a card. Hopefully the small popping of fireworks are not noticeable. Colt Vest Pocket is what I drew. I've got 7 resources, and we are at 2 doom now. And I drew Primordial Evils. Attach Primordial Evils to the snare reference card. Reduce the modifier of each Skull, Cultist, Tablet, Elder Thing, and Moon by 1. So, for example, a -2 becomes a -3. Or replace 1 doom on the current agenda. Oh, this just stays in play. I will add a doom to the current agenda. That's not great. Gain a resource at the start of my turn, and then exhaust both my scrolls of secrets to find a med student. Sure. And an ice pick. Sure. One of my scrolls is now empty. But they're doing their job. So let's go ahead and drop both of my magnifying glasses, because those don't cost me anything, to be 6-2. Minus half the X. X is half the amount of doom in play rounded up, which is technically 2, so -1 I get this clue. I have 4 clues. I may immediately advance. I will worry about that in a second. I'm going to move to the locomotive engine, and I will drop 2 clues to drop the doom to 1, which now effectively treats it as 0, because there are no clues on the Coal Hopper. Great. So I still have 2 actions. with which I will investigate 3 up. -3. And actually, I'm going to... shoot. So that puts me at 3 clues. Because I got 1, 2, 3, 4. And so 1, move 1, and I'll do it again. That's a moon. It puts 2 moon on me. -2. So I have all 4 clues. At the end of the round, I can spend to advance them. The oh shoot is I got a scroll of secrets that I forgot that I'm not clearing off all the clues on this location, so my magnifying glasses are staying in play, which means I'm ditching the scrolls. Oh well. But I've got 4 clues. That feels nice. Resource sand a card. I got a spotlight. That's great, actually. So we add a doom, putting us at 2, but it's technically 1. Primordial evils. I swore I shuffled this a whole bunch. We'll add another doom. Guess we're dropping a bunch of clues this round. So let's spend 2. 1 from disappearing coins, 1 from myself, to play spotlight. Reduce my location shroud by 2 until the end of the round. Great. I'm going to investigate. I forgot to advance. Oh well. So I'm at 6 to 1. That's a skull, that's a clue. Because of the last clue of my location is discovered, I unlock the tension, which gives me +1 intellect and +1 agility. 5, 4. Great. I have 5 clues. I will drop 3 of them to reduce the doom to 0. And then, oh, group them once per round. That's the limit of it. Okay, group them once per round. So I would have only been able to do it twice now. So I was at 3, and I reduced it by 2 before. So I'm at 4 doom, and I should have advanced at the end of... We're going to just say I advanced at the end of last round, now that I understand how this is actually supposed to be working. I'll still take the clue off this location as my first action, assuming that makes any lick of sense. No, just in case, actually, it... Just in case... Okay. No. Put the clue back. We're spending the 4 clues. I'm taking the spotlight back. Give me back my dollar. Give me back my disappearing coin. I'll shuffle Primordial Evils in if something else gets shuffled into the encounter deck, and we'll go from there. Okay, so I've got it at 4 doom, which to my knowledge and understanding is what it's supposed to be. Great. Arriving at Memphis. The train eases to a halt in the yards outside Central Station, marking the end of... So I'm basically treating this as if it's the end of the previous round. For each enemy in play, place 1 doom on the agenda. There are no enemies in play. Check the amount of doom in play. If there are 6 or fewer doom, read Stomping Ground. Okay. Stomping Ground. Your timely arrival in Memphis gives you a chance to seek out former members of the New Moon Circus, or rather the Four Leaf Circus, as it used to be. You were able to locate Mr. Conkin, former strongman who quit after witnessing some of the horrors at in the making. He is reluctant to speak until you prove yourself capable of standing against Blake and his monstrous circus, though you will likely be set back by the time spent if you cannot. The investigators must decide. You want proof? You're going to get it. Choose an investigator to test will or strength 3. This test gets +1 per investigator difficulty. Reduce the difficulty of this test for each performer, warden, blessed, and cursed investigator. So if I succeed, nothing happens. If I fail, I get 2 resources on the scenario reference card. So it'd have to be a strength check, which I'm currently even on, which I'm currently even on. If I can get 2 up, that gets me over Skulls, which is nice, and it gets me over Elder Things. So if I commit the Ice Pick and Thea, I'm 2 up. Elder Sign. I may swap an asset in my hand with an asset I control, paying the difference. Sure. I'll play a lab assistant and take back a magnifying glass, which draws me 2 cards, which is a Colt Vest pocket and some hiking boots. Great. I've got both of my Colt Vest pockets in hand. So nothing bad happens to my knowledge and understanding. Okay. Remove all Doom from play. Okay, so we will be going back to 1 Doom. Discard each enemy. Great. Replace each freight car and special car with another random set-aside freight car and special car. I'm putting Victory X. So I did get the victory for this. Oh, right. Shoot. What's my... The Chariot would have had me start the game with 2 additional cards in hand. I am so sorry. I am just a mess right now. I'm just going to draw 2 cards and call that even, which got me a Burning the Midnight Oil and Professor William Webb. Great. So now I need a new freight car, which is the gondola car, and a new special car, which is... I'm just taking them from the top of the shuffled random stacks. Gondola car, 2 Shroud, 1 per investigator clues. After you play an event that targets an enemy, draw a card. You may be able to exploit the sloped cars against anything attacking you. Reinforced car, 3 Shroud, 2 per investigator clue. Reaction when an enemy attacks you. If there are no clues here, reduce the damage or horror dealt by the attack by 1. Great. What meant to protect the car's contents, the extra protection could be of use to you as well. Fully replenish each clue on each locomotive location. Or on locomotive and caboose. Great. Put a random set-aside Dark Young enemy in the caboose. Okay. Ravenous Goat Spawn. 4 per investigator health, 3 fight, 3 evade. Monster, Dark Young Elite. After Ravenous Massive Retaliate Alert. After it attacks you, if there are 1 or more moon tokens sealed on you, lose 2 resources. Reaction after 1 or more damage is dealt to Ravenous Goat Spawn. Spend 1 to 3 clues as a group to deal an additional damage to Ravenous Goat Spawn for each clue spent. Okay. So then I would have added a Doom, and then I would have drawn Primordial Evils, and now I understand how this is working. Which means we would be at 2 Doom. Because of Primordial Evils. Thank you for bearing with me. Sorry for the confusion. No free rides. Act 2A. You've barely begun to trek to St. Louis when a monstrous thing hurls itself out of the nearby woodland, clinging to the back of the caboose. Carrie nearly screams at the sight of the horrible creature, but instead manages to call the danger to your attention. You've got to get this unwanted passenger off the train. At the end of the round, if there are no Dark Young enemies in play, you may advance. Okay. I'm just going to get myself set up a little bit first. So I am going to... Oh, wait a minute. I could have... Oh. I drew an Elder Sign, which could have... I'm going to shuffle the 2 cards I drew from the lab assistant back, because I had the Spotlight in hand, and it was a way for me to get the Spotlight into play for 2 cost without an action, which would have been perfect, and that's exactly what I want to do. So I will then investigate this location and not be silly. 0. Great. Now that I got the last clue off this location, the tension activates, and then I get the bonus to my stats, which is exactly what I want. This makes sense. I'm so sorry. I am going to drop that clue I just picked up to reduce Doom, and then I will try to pick it up again. -2. If you fail, ready a Dark One enemy in play. I do not need to, so I do not. Great. I have the clue. Oh my goodness. I just like, I thought I understood how this was working, and then I completely figured out now how this is working. So thank you for joining me through this process. I should have put hiking boots down first. I'll do that now. 1, 2. So I investigated, fast dropped a clue, investigated, played hiking boots. We're going to move to the gondola car, so I'm just here. And we're going to just fast put down a magnifying glass because I like to have my slots filled, if able. You hunt. Because I can't move through the caboose, but you can. Resource and a card. Art student. So I've got an art student, laboratory assistant, 2 Colt vest pockets, a medical student, and Professor William Webb. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's great. What could possibly go wrong? 2 doom. New Moon Acrobat. 2 health, 3 fight, 3 evade. Humanoid performer hunter. Forced if you succeed by 2 or more while attacking him. If he's ready, he attacks you. Great. That's not exactly what I wanted right now. I need to kill this goat spawn. If I can get this clue, which I can't easily get this clue. You only do a damage to me, for whatever that's worth. Oh, right. Did I want to get rid of these tokens off of me? Probably. I'm going to take a damage in a horror and get the tokens off of me. Because now that I'm actually contending with the Ravenous goat spawn, I don't want it to sap all my money. Okay. Speaking of money, gain $1 because a lone wolf. I'll exhaust it. Great. I don't like this, but 1, 2. I need Alma, and I just didn't find her. I'm going to play Colt Vest Pocket. And I'm going to shoot the New Moon Acrobat. I am 1 up. Don't love that. 1 bit. Elder Sign. Okay, what can I do interesting with an Elder Sign? So I can pull back the New Moon so the New Moon Acrobat's dead. I can pull back the magnifying glass and play the art student, which gets me the clue, and then lets me move directly to the Ravenous goat spawn. Yes. Good. Yes. And then I can shoot the Ravenous goat spawn. -1, which is a hit. Do I spend the clues to murder it? I'd rather save I'm only 1 up. So right now, skulls, cultist tablets. I'm gonna shoot it again. 3rd action shoot. 0. Great. You're dead. Thank you, Colt Vest Pocket. And then at the end of the round, if there are no dark young enemies, there are no dark young enemies, and you will be discarded, Mr. Colt Vest Pocket, because you just discard at the end of the round. Anywho. Sweet. Okay. I technically have a Hermes action. I don't want to go anywhere. Resource and a card. I am at 8 resources, and I drew the Decultist book. At the end of the round, we advance. With the horrible creature left screaming on the tracks behind you, you complete the short journey to Union Station. For each enemy in play, place a doom on the agenda. There are no enemies in play. Check the amount of doom in play. If there are 6 or fewer, read Nature of the Beast. Yeah, okay, I'm understanding how this is working. Upon your arrival in St. Louis, you inquire about the circus to find that there's been an accident involving them. Several laborers took the initiative to help unload the circus trains and were injured by the animals. While the official word is quick to attribute the attack to temperamental creatures, it's possible that the workers were attacked to prevent them from seeing anything. If you can help with their medical treatment, then you may get the laborers well enough to warn anyone about the circus. It's always easier to trust locals. Here we must decide option A. Here we can patch them up. Investigators as a group must discard cards from their hand or player with a total of 4 per investigator or more skill icons. Reduce this amount by 2 for each medic, assistant, wayfarer, and drifter, none of which apply to me, or we don't have the time to help. So I need to ditch 4 icons. I can probably do that. From hand or play area. Hand and or play area. Yeah, okay. Wait a minute. Reduce amount for each medic. Yeah, okay. I'm going to ditch lab assist. I want all of this, unfortunately. We're going to ditch the disappearing coins. That's 2. We're going to ditch the arts. I'll keep the art student. Well, I need to get 2 more. We're not ditching magnifying glass. We're not ditching the book. Laboratory assistant's going to get me more cards. Cult vest pocket is going to help me with an enemy if an enemy is what I'm dealing with next. I don't want to get rid of spotlight because spotlight's giving me 2 stat bonuses. Lone wolf's getting me money, but I guess I don't really need money. But it is my main money bank right now. Hiking boots is just okay. Hiking boots is just okay. Okay, that's 3rd, and Professor Webb, it will be last. Well, Professor Webb's last. There, I ditched 4 things. I hope you're happy, game. Remove Doom from everywhere. Done. I did not clear this location of victory, so I don't get to VP it, unfortunately. So the next one from the top for the freight slot is the tank car. 1 shroud, 1 per investigator clues. After you end your turn here, if there are 1 or more clues, lose a resource. And the next special is the crane car. 3 shroud, 2 per investigator clues. I should have 2 clues because I didn't spend them. If there are 3 shroud, 2 per investigator clues. If there are no clues on crane car, disengage and move as an action. Disengage and move an investigator or non-elite enemy at any location directly to crane car. Group limit once per round. If you can learn the controls, this mechanical crane might prove a useful tool. Victory 1. Fully replenish the clues on locomotive. Done. And put a random set aside Dark Young. The next one from the top of that random stack is the Rampaging Goat spawn. 5 per investigator health, 3 shroud, 3 fight, 3 evade, monster Dark Young, elite, massive. After you attack it, for each moon token sealed on your investigator card, discard a card from your hand at random. And after 1 or more damage is dealt to Rampaging Goat spawn, spend 1 to 3 clues as a group to deal an additional damage to Rampaging Goat spawn for each clue spent. He does not come to me, which means I need to fix this broken coupling. Act 3A, Engine Trouble. As the wide open plains gives way to rocky hills, Ralph suddenly shouts to brace for impact as the train shakes violently. Another monster, waiting on the tracks before you, has leapt up onto the engine. Did I spawn in the wrong place? Oh yeah, it's supposed to be on the engine, not the caboose. So I don't need to fix that broken coupling. Do I need to do? Yeah, okay, great. At the end of the round, if there are no Dark Young enemies, it's bad, but you must drive the fiend away before it damages the engine. Okay. So, top of the round, we add a Doom. Did I upkeep? We're just going to say I upkept. So, add a Doom. And draw a Supplicant of the Goat. 2 health, 2 fight, 2 evade. Spawns at any connecting location. You can go to the tank car. Okay. So you're not going anywhere. I'm going to throw a magnifying glass down as I gain a resource. Great. We're going to investigate this location at 7 to 3. 0. 7 to 3. Elder Thing, -2 if you fail already a Dark One enemy in play. There are no Dark One enemies in play. So I have 4 clues. Because I didn't spend any last time, and I got 2 last time. Then I'm going to spend 2 resources to fast play down the book, and then I'll pop a magnifying glass back to my hand now that I don't need it out. And then, because I'll pop the book out as a fast, and then I will fast play Lab Assistant, which draws me Web and a Burning the Midnight Oil. I arguably should have done that first, but now I can throw out allies at fast, which feels nice. Enemy phase nothing, resource and a card. Hey, look, it's Alma, who I can pop out at fast. 2 resources. I forgot to give myself a resource for Lone Wolf, and by 2 resources, I mean 2 Doom. I know words. Well, I've got a broken coupling between myself and the tank car. I'll need to fix that. Gain a resource at the top of my turn. Fast throw out Alma, which doesn't currently get rid of anything, but is what it is. Puts my agility to 5. So my stats are now 2, 5, 3, 5. I'm going to, so that's spent 4 resources. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to spend 2 resources to get rid of this broken coupling as an action. That's my first real action. We're going to move to the train car. Hello. I'm going to punch you. I'm 1 up. That's a moon. That's a 0. Great. I punched you for a damage. So I got first action, got rid of the thing. Hermes over. Punched you. Last action, we're going to chuck the art student. Nope, we're going to chuck the lab assistant at this, which murders it, which puts the tension on Alma so that now I can throw magnifying glasses and not feel bad. Because, of course, that's what I want to do with my life. I end my turn here and lose a resource because of Tank Car's forced ability. Resource and a card. Second copy of Lone Wolf. 3 Doom. New Moon Stiltwalker. 2 health, 4 fight, 3 evade. Spawns at any location without investigators if possible. So I'm probably going to put you with the Rampaging Goat spawn. Hunter alert. When resolving the Hunter keyword, New Moon Stillwalker's location is considered to be connected to each other location. That's funny. So, yeah, that's funny. Let's go ahead and move into the locomotive engine and make 2 friends. Hi. I'm going to... So I gained a resource from Lone Wolf. I'll spend 2 to play the Colt Vest Pocket from hand. Unfortunately, you're kind of high health. I'm even as is. I'm even to shoot. That's bad. That's bad. I'm even to shoot the Stiltwalker. but it's so early Doom-wise that I'm probably fine. So I'm going to shoot the Rampaging Goat Spawn. Two up. -1 from a tablet. If you fail, draw the topmost hazard. There are none. I will spend 3 clues to do +3 damage. And then I will chuck the vest pocket at... Well, I don't need to chuck the vest. I don't need to chuck the vest pocket right now. You've got 4 damage on you. That was 1 action. I can still attempt to shoot the Stilt Walker. +1, you're dead. Then I can, yes, perfect. Then I can chuck the gun, get it back to hand, and kill this goat spawn. And I still have a clue, I guess. This is weird. Enemy phase, nothing. Resource and a card. Lady Esprit. Perfect. You'll probably be going down soon-ish. There are no Dark Young enemies in play. Another close call, but the monster was successfully repelled, and the welcome arch of Union Station looms ahead. For each enemy in play, place a doom on the agenda. There are none. Then there are 6 or fewer. So I read Behind the Curtain. Out in a city as remote as Denver, you discover that the circus is being a little less careful with its illusory disguises. With the time you've gained, you can afford to watch for an opportunity to undo their spells and reveal their horrid deception to the public. The trick is making the deception plain for all to see. So I can choose to not afford to stay here a moment longer and place a resource. I haven't been taking those options. But the more involved option, time to show the city what they really are. Investigators as a group choose and discard a total of 2 per investigator, total non-weakness assets they control. Reduce this amount by 1 for each sorcerer, silver, twilight, scholar, and cultist enemy. Discard 2 assets, you say? I can do that. Have this... Does it have to be from play, or can it be from hand? That they control. Boo. Here, you can have my lone wolf, and you can have my art student. I've got a second lone wolf in hand. Boo. Okay, remove all doom from play. Replace each freight car and special. I got the VP from one of them. Well, the only one that gets VP. And then... Okay, get another. So my new freight car is the flat car. 1 shroud, 1 per investigator clues. After you end your turn here, if there are 1 or more clues, choose and discard a card from your hand. Sure. And the new special car is the mail car. 4 shroud, 2 per investigator clues. After you draw a card during the upkeep phase, if there are no clues here, draw an additional card. The flavor text on the flat car is being completely exposed on the moving train does little to calm your nerves. And the flavor text on mail car is something about a mailroom lends itself towards organizing the mind. Okay. Fully replenish the clues on the locomotive and the caboose. Done. Place the set aside circus train location into play. Put a random Dark Young enemy into play at exotic animal car. Exotic animal car. Put each set aside circus train. I was about to say that makes more sense. And then the next one is the writhing goat spawn. So let's get this set up. So the circus engine with the moon symbol is parallel to the locomotive engine. The animal car is parallel to the mail car. So that's the end of their train. In the middle for them is the performer's car. Great. And then the writhing goat spawn is in the exotic animal car. 5 per investigator health, 2 fight, 4 evade. Monster Dark Young Elite, massive retaliate. Forced, after you enter writhing goat spawn's location, if writhing goat spawn is ready and there are 1 or more moons on you, it attacks you. It deals damage on horror. And then same reaction ability. When you deal damage to it, you can spend clues to keep it going. Great. Is this the last act? Feels like the last act. It's the last act. The great train horror, the long and surprisingly peaceful journey through the western Badlands makes you hope to arrive without incident. However, as you near civilization, once more, multiple rail lines run parallel to each other. Another train suddenly appears beside you. One of the circus trains was waiting in ambush. At the end of the round, if there are 9 or more Doom in play, immediately advance to Agenda 1B. If there are 4 or more damage on Circus Engine, you may advance. Okay. Okay. But the Writhing Goat Spawn doesn't move. So I could go pick a fight with him, but we should see what's in the Circus Engine first. 1 Doom, and I draw the Milk of Shub. To a non-elite enemy, there are no non-elite enemies, it gains search. Overloaded Engine. Attach Overloaded Engine to the Locomotive Engine and exhaust Ralph Dijkstra. At the end of the round, place 1 Doom on Locomotive Engine. Test Strength or Agility 3. If you succeed, to discard it. I'll probably do that. So let's gain... I have 4 resources. Let's put Lone Wolf into play. That makes me feel good. And then we are going to test to get rid of... Test to get rid of this. I'm 2 up. I'm 2 up. Gets me over most of the bag. +1. Gone. So I have a move action, and I've got Hermes action and a regular action. Let's see what's in the Circus Engine. The brightly painted engine disguises the horrors in tow. 4 Shroud, 2 per investigator clues. Action, spend 1 to 3 clues. Place an equal amount of damage on Circus Engine. Action, take a fight action against Circus Engine's Shroud value. If you succeed, instead of dealing damage, place 1 damage on Circus Engine. 2 damage instead if the attack would do 3 or more damage. Okay, that's not so bad. I still have a regular action left. Let's investigate. I'm at 6 to 4. -3, that's a fail. That was a Burning the Midnight Oil, so I will gain 2 resources from that, but still failed. Resource and a card. Another Alma. Not that I can play you. 2 Doom. And it's a New Moon. Oops, I just dropped my whole hand onto the floor, to be clear. New Moon Tumbler. Yeah, I did just take a tumble. 2 health, 3 fight, 4 evade. Humanoid Performer, Hunter Retaliate. If there's 1 or more Doom on New Moon Tumbler, it gets +1 horror. If there are 2 or more Doom on it, it gets +1 damage. After it attacks, place a Doom on it. That makes sense. Okay, what are we doing with my life? Start of my round, or start of my turn, gain a resource. I'm going to... I'm even to punch. I need to upgrade Alma, or I need to get better guns or something. Or something. I'm even to punch. I'm up to evade, which honestly might be the way to do things. I'll commit the Alma from hand to be 2. Now I'll just spend 2 resources, 1, 2, to be 4 up. Elder Sign. Okay, what do I do with an Elder Sign? I can take out the Mag Glass. That's honestly super great. Just being able to take out the Mag Glass, and I can put something else into play. What am I putting into play? I can put the Med Student to heal me, and then I can play something at fast, which isn't so bad. I have to spend $2 to do that. That's not terrible. We're going to spend $2 to do that. 1, 2, heals me 1 and 1. But that's fine. Then I can drop both of my mag glasses. And then second action, investigate at 3 up. I apologize. I have just noticed that I have been cheating, and I apologize. If the beard is listening, he's probably been shouting since the first scenario that I have been cheating. Alma Roland's ability, when you get the tension, does not put it back to your hand, it shuffles it back into your deck. I will be playing like that henceforth. I'm investigating 3 up. -2. That's a clue. And then I will chuck... Well, see, the thing is, that changes, like, everything. Because now I probably wouldn't have gotten charisma. We'll figure it out. I'll chuck the med student at her to deal damage. And then I can kill her next turn, but that shuffles the med student back in the deck. We're going to play this how we're supposed to. Sorry. Okay. And then that's my whole turn. Resource and a card. Calling in favors. Nice to have. You'll ready and engage me. We're at 3 doom. I'm probably not going to go for the Writhing Goat spawn. I'm probably... Another New Moon Tumbler? Yeah, okay. We're going to just drop the gun. Yeah, we're just going to drop the gun. So, Colt Vest Pocket. Cost me 2. Boop, boop. I am 1 up to hit. I'm going to shoot the undamaged one. Gain a resource because of that. Elder Sign. Okay. Okay. I'll take out the mag glass and put in... I guess Lady Esprit. Oh, I have to pay the difference. I don't want to pay the difference. I'll just leave the mag... I'm just going to... That's fine. It's fine. The New Moon Tumbler is dead. And then I am going to just action chuck the gun at her, at the other one to kill her, which will shuffle this back into my deck. Great. Okay, cool. This deck is... I've been cheating, which means this deck has been better than it should have been. But it's fine. I'm having fun. It's the blind run of a campaign with an investigator I've never played before. So it's not surprising. What am I doing? Drop the other magnifying glass to investigate at 3 up. 3 up. -2 from an elder thing. If I fail, ready a Dark Young in play. I got the clue. I'll return my glass to hand. I will spend 3 of my clues to do 3 damage to this location. And then I will Hermes. Oh, no, that's an action. That's an action. I shot, and I got a clue. So I don't have the action to do 3 damage. But I will Hermes over to the Performer's car, which has a clue, the 1 clue I need. 2 Shroud, 1 per Investigator clues. It gets +1 Shroud for each enemy at this location. Sure. Resource and a card. Spotlight. 4 doom. Reckless Stunt. Test agility 3. It gets +1 difficulty if there's a performer enemy at my location. If you fail, you must take 2 damage or lose 3 resources. I'm 2 up. That's a moon. That's another moon. That's an Elder Sign. I don't know what to do with all of these Elder Signs. I just don't. I'll take the mag glass back and put Professor Webb down, I guess, at the cost of 3 resources. I gain a resource at the start of my turn. I have 2 moons on me. Moons don't hurt me, this scenario, thus far, unless I'm dealing with a goat spawn. I'm going to drop both my mag glasses to be 5 up. Elder Thing. Got the clue. Move back, spend 2 actions, dropping the clues I need to do 4 damage to the thing to just... I've made a mockery of all of this. We're just calling it over. Arriving at Los Angeles. With the brakes of the circus train locked and its controls damaged, you leap back to your own train. Ralph and Carrie give full steam ahead, speeding you onwards to the coast. Check the amount of doom in play. If there are 6 or fewer doom, there is R3. I could have VP hunted more, but I'm just... For the mess up that I've made, I feel this is just fair just to end it and not go crazy. So R3. You breathe a sigh of relief as the circus train fades from view behind you. Ralph checks his watch as he finishes tending to the machinery. Nice work back there. I think we'll get back to Los Angeles just behind schedule, but not by much. A little behind is more than acceptable given the obstacles and perils you have endured across the country. You return to the caboose to rest, watching the landscape from the back railing, bathed in the orange glow of the setting sun. R3, yep. And then we go to Resolution 5. It's early morning when Carrie rouses you from sleep. The ever-present thrum of the train wheels has stopped, and the hissing steam of the cooling engine is all but finished. We're in the yard outside La Grande Station, Carrie says gently, helping you grab your belongings. You clamber down the back steps to find Ralph waiting for you. Well, I guess this is the end of the line. To be honest, I'm not sure if we could go any further with you if we wanted. After that journey, ... I'm already going to have nightmares. He looks to his daughter, and Carrie rubs one of her arms, nodding with a rueful expression. But you've got that strength to see it through. We're counting on you, not just for our family, but for everyone's families. We'll see you back in Arkham, God willing. Carrie gives you and Thea tense embraces in farewell, while Ralph just offers a handshake, both covering their fears as best they can. You book into a modest hotel and collapse, still weary despite having slept through the night. You wonder how much Blake has prepared over the last week and a half, and just how much a difference your actions over the journey have made. Record that the Ringmaster had X days to prepare, where X is the number of resources on the scenario reference card, which is 0. I succeeded the first test. I discarded the cards. I discarded the cards. 0. Each investigator earns victory X, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Interlude, written in stone. A knock sounds at the door to your room, erasing any weariness in your mind. You open it cautiously to find Thea, her own room directly across the hall from yours, with the tome held to her chest. You usher her inside quickly and lock the door. I didn't really have a chance during the journey, but I have to talk with y'all about what I learned from this book. You sit with Thea at the small table at the hotel that the hotel provides. The book, De Cultus Bestiae, was written by Apolatius. I added a T. Apuleius, who lived in the Roman Empire. He was a scholar and poet, and he dabbled in several cults. Normally, that would be cults in the old sense, like specific parts of the Roman pantheon, but this account specifically is about the cult of Shub. This tome tells the details of the cult of Shub, disguised as the cult of Bacchus, and how he infiltrated it, learned their secrets, and aided the local Roman governor in dissolving the cult in that region. Most of the horrors are known to you through your recent trials, but Thea goes on to explain several key revelations. He claims that Shub can be summoned by a ritual in a forest during any new moon, but only temporary. The cult back in the time was devising a ritual to permanently summon their god by locking the moon in phase during an eclipse. But their works were burned when the cult was scattered. The high priest even laid out a prophecy before his execution, which is recorded in the tome. Thea shows you a passage which she translates as she reads. By the cunning of the Lord of the Woods, consort of the Mother Goddess, the woods will once more be known, her mighty young fattened, and the stars of the black sky be aligned. Red will be the dawn, and red the forest when neither moon nor sun shine down again. Yah, Yah, the goat with 1,000 young. Thea swallows dryly as she completes the passage. I know how he felt now. The prophecy is immediately followed by a short protective prayer to Diana, Roman goddess of wild animals, the hunt and the moon. She again shows you the book, this time saying the Latin phrase out loud. Each investigator may add a copy of the Invocation of Diana to their deck. I'll get to that in a second. You ask Thea if that's all that there is to the prophecy, because that doesn't explain why Blake was worried about your involvement. It's actually two prophecies together rather than one, Thea explains, turning to a later page in the book. He consulted the high priests of Diana following the execution, and she gave her own prophecy of hope of those who would rise to stop it. Each investigator must choose one of the following options, then in the campaign log under Destinies, record that investigator's name and the chosen word. Each investigator must choose a different option. If an investigator is killed or driven insane, their destiny is transferred to the investigator chosen to replace them. The one who will strike the heart, the one who will silence the pipes, the one who will raise the torch, the one who will split the rock, the one who will scribe the sigil, the one who will cleanse the stain, the one who will recite the prayer, and the one who will bear the burden. Okay. None of them are immediately jumping out to me. Perhaps bear the burden just being funny because of all the things I throw out into my hand slots. Let's go with burden. Okay. Thea reads the translated descriptions of these foreseen figures, and you must admit you do fit the model. Granted, you're not sure if a priestess from nearly 2 millennia ago could see you specifically, but it's as likely as all the other improbable things that have happened in the past 2 weeks. Thea's expression grows a little uncertain as she looks between you and the text. Y'all are there, plain to see, but I just wish I knew what was in store for me. If this whole prophecy is true, then my visions were just to get y'all involved in it, and now, well, is that for me? The investigators must decide. Choose one. Prophecy can only happen if people like you take action. Perhaps you have a similar role to the priestess of Diana. I like the action one more thematically. You agree that the prophecy was peeping through the keyhole of time. Just because she wasn't in the small visible part doesn't mean she isn't there and making a huge difference. Take the Dijkstras, for example. Where did the prophecy talk about them and their instrumental part in getting you here? Thea exhales and looks visibly more relieved. Y'all are right. I gotta take matters into my own hands and believe that what I'm doing makes a difference. If y'all were doing that before you even knew about any of the prophecies. So we replace her with the aspirant of courage, as opposed to just briefly looking at the other text, the aspirant of wisdom. Thea turns back to the page with the profane declaration and furls her brow in contemplation. I just wish we knew what Blake was planning. He seems to have everything he needs for this prophecy, and he only needs to come to California for this eclipse. So why go out of his way to hunt you down? It's just so he's just so certain of these prophecies and my visions, but why? If one or more chosen investigators were chosen for this campaign, nope. The investigators must decide. Maybe he's so dedicated that literally nothing else matters, or maybe we just represent failure to him personally. Maybe he's so dedicated that literally nothing else matters. You suggest that since Blake serves Shub, this ritual is millennia in the making. He would rather die than allow the cult to fail a second time, and as such, he would follow the tome to the letter in his task. So we replace the book with the interpretation of conviction instead of the interpretation of obsession. There's no end to the theories you could imagine about the prophecies in Blake. What you've supposed is just as likely to be true as not, after all. You and Thea agree to shelve these thoughts as you apply your brains to the more immediate problems. Add another moon to the chaos bag and go to the Piper at the Gates of Dawn, scenario 5. So I didn't look at what these were doing. Once I kind of got the impression that, oh, we're going to get some of these other forms, I didn't look at them. Aspirant of Courage for Thea Weaver. So still 2 costs. She gains a will icon. Let me find her real quick for comparison. Fast during a skill test at your location, you can exhaust her. The performing investigator gets +X skill value, where X is half the number of moon tokens on this card rounded up. If successful, you may release a sealed token on a card at your location. She also gains a damage. So now she can release tokens from it. I'm just curious. I'm not changing my decision, but I'm just curious what the other one does. Same text. So she got the same will icon. She's got that. If this test is successful, you or the performing investigator may draw a card and gets a will. I'm happy with what I got. I'd be happy either way in this instance. They're both good. There are, oh my goodness, there are 4 more versions of her that haven't been called for. Okay, so we've got the interpretation of conviction. If there are one or fewer tokens sealed on it, you can search the chaos bag for a moon token and seal it. Does not provoke attacks or opportunity. Okay. Versus obsession. I also got an intellect icon. Versus obsession. Obsession, if there are no tokens, you can search one and put it on. It does not provoke attack for opportunity. Fast release a sealed token on hit. Heal a damage or horror from an investigator or ally asset. So the conviction one lets you stack it up a little bit more, which is nice in its own regard. Okay. I'm gonna double check my deck now that I know that I need to fix my understanding of how this works and how my deck has been working. I might cash in that charisma, because that, if I'm supposed to be doing, if it's things are working a little bit differently, so charisma doesn't necessarily make as much sense to me right now. So I will consider if I'm going to trade that in, but I've got 5 XP anyway, 4 from this scenario, 1 that I was holding over. If I trade the charisma in, that's 8. But yeah, I'm really only considering the charisma because I'm like, I want to make sure this deck works like it's like, we'll make sure this deck actually like works as written. So with all that said, hopefully this was still fun to listen to regardless. If you want to get in contact with me about anything, feel free to reach out to me at therestrictedcollection@gmail.com. Otherwise, you can find me around as Head Librarian Chad. I'm done for the day. I think it's a little late anyway, and I think I've confused myself on the text and how things work as it is. So I'm going to call it a night. Thanks for listening.